Duolingo.
Hello, this stream is not sponsored by Duolingo, but we love it.
I wish.
Oh, me too. Welcome, chat. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons on Pauldances. We are playing episode 2 of The Steps of Twilight. This is our 4-shot mini campaign that we're doing for the spoopy season. And my voice is a little shot, so we're going to turn this over to Kiffer right away. I think, wait, are we all? No, we're not in the right spot. I'm going to be dragging players around, putting us in the right spots. And, but yeah, Kiffer, take it away.
Well, thank you, sir. Welcome back. Anyone tuning back in from first week? If you haven't seen that, go watch that now. And then, well, no, hang out with us and then go watch. I'll let you figure it out. But we'll give Paul's throat a break here for a little bit as he arranges. Paul, let me know when you are good to go. This would be a great time for a title sequence if we had one next year, perhaps.
All right.
You're saying there's going to be a next year.
We'll figure it out.
You've done it bad.
I mean, I'm having a good time. Alrighty,
I'll
Paul,
play
are we
this
good to
character
go
forever.
on arrangement?
We
Yes,
are good to go on that slide. Let me open the condom. Open the combat. The combat one.
I understand.
Here we go. Opening the
Paul's having
combat.
Twitch, let's go.
Damn.
I'm flattered.
Already
go.
opened his OnlyFans.
All right. Alice is in the right spot. We are. Oh my gosh. They're all in the right spot. Awesome.
Look at that.
Okay. Then, yes, we are good to go.
Excellent. Well, in that case, here we go. Something stirs in the night. In the junctures between that which is clearly defined, something ancient moves unseen, reaching out to affect the world anew. Darkness spreads in the twilight of the dusk, claiming for itself the last vestiges of hope, even as they slip away in the fall of this new age. You were brought together at the bidding of a mutual acquaintance, Professor C. E. Norton, in order to investigate a missing tome and recover it, however possible, and to learn more about the reasons for its theft. You find a young woman seeking answers for herself and hope for her grandfather, an investigator eager to dismiss the unlikely, but perhaps beginning to fear the impossible. A witch hoping to find freedom from a world seeking to claim her for good. A son searching for hope and absolution in a world that is stingy with both. An academic reaching for reason in the unreasonable. And a trickster dancing through illusions to find a reality to believe in. Determining that witches were at the helm of the disappearance of the book, you arrived in Salem, an hour's coach ride away, on the night of May the 10th. One of you having found caffeine for the first time. Stabling the horses, you find yourself in the heart of Salem on Summer Street. Dark buildings loom in the late dusk. The streets are clearing. There's a quiet on the air, broken only by the distant sound of water against dock and shore. What would you like to do?
Thea, is this the right place?
Is this the right place?
Given the evidence that you had put together between you and Clive, you were able to determine that witches, or at least very witch-like magic, were used to break into the professor's study. Mud tracked in... Bless you. Bless you. Mud tracked into that study indicated that there were remnants, traces of salt of the ocean. Given that you were in Boston, this seemed a likely first step in an investigation, and perhaps a most likely step in searching for witches in the nearby vicinity.
Cassie, did you not say that you have a ability to find things?
I may be able to, if it's, within a sensible range. Give me 1 second.
We're just like dropped in the middle of like Main Street.
You are. And you can see you've been here before, I think, on a time or two. It seems quiet. Seems, well, an unsettled sort of quiet. This is evening. People should be socializing. People should be out and about, and yet you find people eyes down, averting their gaze, rushing from one place to the next. And actually, give me a perception check. Anyone paying attention, which I assume would be all of you, unless you have reason to not.
$24.
Is a passive perception.
Active.
Active.
Active on this one.
Just gonna ride that 25 forever.
Yeah.
8.
That's a 9.
11.
14.
I did my -1.
Wow, you did not.
24.
Thank you. And then, what'd you get, Charlotte?
17.
17. Pythia, you're familiar with Salem. You know what to look for. And while everyone else may be, taking in the scenery and understanding for the first time how Salem works, you know that this, even for Salem, is a bit off-putting. And oddly, looking south, you can see activity. You can see down the street, people talking, people heading out for dinner, people walking in groups away from work, out into the night. As you look towards the north, that behavior of avoidance becomes stronger. That is to say, people walk singularly, not in groups, non-social, rushing, trying to get off the street. It's the difference of half a mile, but it's stark.
I do believe that perhaps we need to head north for a bit before you cast your spell.
Yeah, just let me know when we're ready. This is the furthest away from home I've ever been, so it's weird.
What
Where are you
is it
from?
exactly you see north?
Well, there's nothing actually. There's very much less action over there. Would you not deduce, Inspector, that perhaps the more abandoned areas will be better for our search?
Yes, I suppose you're right. It's a bit distracted by, the unusually unhospitable nature of all the inhabitants here.
Oh, you don't know, inhospitable. Right.
Right. So, north it is then.
Oui?
Okay.
Before we get started here, I got a bad feeling about this place. Just if you don't mind sticking around for a moment, I'm just gonna get into my bag, get a few things put together for us. And he just brings down his bag and pulls out a bunch of you can now see that as he moves his there's vials in this bag. They kind of start to glow. Different colors. Looks like a ball pit full of potions. And he pulls a few out and starts just feverishly mixing them together. And he's going to create 2 experimental elixirs.
Ooh.
Okay. Do you roll for those?
Yeah,
I
it's
believe?
a D6s.
Definitely watching over your shoulder.
Um,
Trying not to be
and
real
I
obvious
think-
about it, but
Can't remember if I know if... I think as I create them, I know what they...
I believe so.
All right, this first one, this one's gonna... I know it sounds crazy, but anybody want the power of flight? Just a 10 minutes. And just hand it out. Flight.
Sorry, are you
Now listen, we've gone through this. There is magic in this world, Clive. Do you
Maybe
want
you
this?
should take it.
That would be very funny.
You insist there is magic, as you call it. You and Tyler certainly are safer.
They never heard any of the test subjects. That being me.
Very well.
Uh,
I believe I shall abstain for the moment.
And then just when you take it, just know you've got about 10 minutes. All right, next one coming up hot. We got resilience. This one's just gonna make you a little tougher. Tougher on that.
Idea looks over at Alice.
This is also worth 10 minutes, and he's gonna just like toss it over to Alice.
She'll just take it and look at it.
So rules-wise, you gain 1 bonus to AC for 10 minutes.
Oh, that's dope.
And then both of the elixirs, when you take it, you can roll 2d6 plus 5, and add that to your add that as temporary hit points.
Oh, that's dope.
Okay, so Clive
Nice.
has the flight and is abstaining for the moment on using it. Alice has resilience. Good to know.
And that's he also and that one's 10 minutes too. Remember, Alice.
Thank you.
Nico, what kind of magic is that? I've never seen anybody do that.
I mean, the only thing I've been able to come up with anywhere in any kind of research or anything is alchemy. I don't know. It's not like
Isn't
my
that
lab
something-
was.
I think I've seen that maybe mentioned in something Cassie was reading sometime. Isn't that like what you do, alchemy?
Not quite, but I've done a little bit of research into alchemy, but it's not my necessary focus.
Interesting.
Cassie, go ahead and give me a history check, actually, or Arcana, your choice.
Let's do. It's the same number. I'll do Arcana for 16, Kiffer.
Arcana for 16. You would know from your studies, minimal as they are into alchemy, that it's a very long historied art. It's a very complex art, originally formed in the goal of, essentially trying to form gold out of nothing. Though the study has branched many different directions as various practitioners pursue understanding and pursue powers that they, whatever they might dream of. You also know it's a very measured art, a very precise art. And so it stands out that a young kid from New York City just put together a couple potions on the street, running by the seat of his pants, essentially.
And you said you made these yourself?
Yeah, most of the components I made back at the lab in my hometown, but I got a lot of different pieces that I can put together rapidly in case I need to, depending on what I need to use. And you want to see? And he opens up the bag and just you see the ball pit of potions.
It's quite a talent to be able to whip those up. I mentioned it a little bit before, but that flask that I have, that took months and months of work to get that enchantment.
Yeah, when I started with this, the thing is, I didn't really I didn't just do this out of the blue. I actually found the lab that I was using. It's in Brooklyn. Maybe you can come up sometime. I'll show you. But I more or less broke into it, but there was nobody there, and I just kind of made it home and stood on the shoulders of giants, so to speak.
Well, that's one way to be known, I guess.
Well, I didn't even know I was known. I didn't know anybody knew about it until the professor sent me a letter.
You think it was
Interesting.
his lab?
You know, I never even considered it.
If not, I don't know if it would be his or maybe an acquaintance. He seems to have many connections.
I did want to ask real quick. I know if we get into some kind of situation where we've got to, you know, defend ourselves, anybody else fighting up close?
No.
I don't imagine we're gonna be doing any fighting. That seems ridiculous.
Yes.
It's not such
You've
a
obviously
big
never been to Brooklyn, Miss Charlotte.
I haven't been to Brooklyn. Is it nice?
It's all right. It's all right.
I tend to find myself in close quarters when it comes to blows. Yes.
All right. Why don't you give me one of your you got a weapon or something?
Well, mostly these. He just kind of holds out his hands.
All right. I mean, you got. Hold on. Let me make sure.
I do carry this as well, and I'll pull out a dagger.
All right. That's more what I'm looking for. And he like grabs the dagger. Says thank you like a Boy Scout. Thank you. And you see as he like actually just takes out like some glue paste and like glues it to the nice handle of the dagger, and then and then sticks like a small like can of pomade on it. All right, you just take this pomade here, rub it on yourself or somebody else next to you. You got about maybe 10 uses worth in here. You're gonna use this. It's gonna make you feel a lot better.
Define better.
I don't know. You ever use Vicks? I think that's around and kind of smells like that a little bit.
Of course, soothing.
Okay, now I need to
Take it with my evening tea.
Was Vicks around?
Paper rub.
It's gonna make you feel better. You're gonna be able to use cast. You can cast Cure Wounds up to 10 times with your dagger.
Holy shit! You were so close. 1894.
Ooh, prototype. It was the prototype.
Oh.
Mr. Vix
Yeah.
was still still working on the formula.
Where's your Nico?
Aw.
Maybe it was
Oh,
Nico
no,
the
it's
whole
Nico
time.
Vix.
Yeah.
Dang.
Hey, but
Takes a
the
whiff.
person who invented it was born December 30th, 1854.
Totally possible.
Totally possible. It's canon.
It's canon. So Cure Wounds, just so you know, it's a level 2 Cure Wounds. So you've got 10 uses of it's 2d8s plus 5.
Thank you. 2d8s plus 5.
Yep.
Set those aside.
All right, and that's all I got out of my little bag of tricks right here. So let's whatever you guys are planning on doing, I'll follow along.
Okay.
Right. Northward then.
Oui, yes, let us go.
Okay.
Right.
Did
Does
you
anyone
head
else
north?
has any concoctions to make? Sorry.
No.
No.
I'm sure we're gonna be fine.
Right then.
Just fine.
All right. You head north through the town of Salem as dusk begins to fall. You see clouds roiling in off of the coast, a storm seemingly considering approach. As you walk, you quickly find yourselves the only ones on the street. Seems doors are shuttered, and even in second-story windows where people have made their beds for the evening, you find lights non-existent or dimmed down to near nothing. It's almost a ghost town, and all the stranger for knowing that there are people there, likely watching your progress, the sole pacers of this town. In your ear, I think you hear a familiar voice. Mistress, I can't say this is the best idea I've seen you pursue. Do you really want to be walking around this town this hour? It's quite dark.
Please, we are trying to do something that requires a timely schedule.
Yes, I understand that, but you see, I have a vested interest in keeping you alive. It is not selfless. It's very selfish, if you understand. But I'm sure you'd be interested and in staying alive yourself.
I have no wish to die. Obviously.
Excellent. So you turn around right now.
No. Why don't you take a little lap around and perhaps fly high? Don't get into anything, but let me know. Perhaps we are headed in the right direction.
He
Don't forget.
sighs, which is odd for a crow. I live to serve. And he off into the
Technically
night.
already dead, but the sentiment is felt.
I heard that. As you head further north, Alice, you don't smell it before you realize you've been smelling it for a time. The breeze coming in, pushed by the storm inland, carries a scent. Iron on the wind. Make a wisdom saving throw for me.
No! Alice! Who's standing next to her?
I assume you're all walking in tandem. Not like, sorry, not on the line, but in little clumps here and there, or roughly, you know. What'd you get?
15.
15?
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, I just need to know, Flash of Genius, can I do that before? Do I have to do that before we hear the roll?
You can do it after, I believe. However, you would need to know that something was going on. I would say in this case, you would be unaware that something was occurring.
Okay.
This is very much an internal. Alice, the scent of blood hits your nose.
Oh no.
And if Mel weren't there, you probably wouldn't have noticed. But she's got a nose for that sort of thing. And you feel a pressure on your mind, a yearning to get out, someone pushing against a door that is beginning to crack. But you maintain control for now.
Oh.
Heading north, you cross the river. On your left and on your right, you pass a cemetery here, a cemetery here, there. Empty quarters where the dead lie in eternal sleep. You taste the salt on the air as you approach the ocean and arrive at Peter's Point. A series of grassy hills that rise to overlook the inlet of a river. It's unsettling here. There's something wrong. There's a pressure. As you look out, there's nothing to see, but there's everything to feel. And it's like a weight has settled on each of your individual shoulders. And not just that, but a prickling on the back of your neck. Tickle. A soft breath. Clive, you know this feeling. You're being watched.
Try not to make any sudden movements. I believe we're being watched. And Clive's going to look around and see if he can see anything.
Make a perception check for me. I will also say, Alice, that scent of blood has intensified.
Can I see him? Is this since he's like looking around?
You see Clive looking around?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm gonna send a little spooky gust of wind your way and give you guys
Ooh,
some
a
shivers.
draft.
Yes.
Let's see, 17, 27, that is 28.
28. It's odd. The land is empty. You see the grassy hill leading up to overlook the surrounding area and riverside. It's a shallow hill, but it's the highest ground in the area. You can taste the salt on the wind, and you feel that cold breeze, the oncoming front of a storm. You take a few steps forward up the hill. Make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh god.
All of us, or
Just Clive.
just Clive? Okay.
Oh, that 20, so 23.
23.
Damn.
There's an immediate hit in your mind as you take one step, another step, boom, you feel it. That's right. That's right. That's silly you. You left your something in the coach. You take a step back on instinct.
Oh.
Hold up a second. That wasn't your thought. You're a smart man. You know your thoughts. You're very acquainted with them, having spent many long hours on your own. You're not scatterbrained. You don't forget things. Something made you think that. And it seemed as you took your steps up the hill, there was a point at which you felt it.
I think we're getting close to something here. Something that does not want us here.
I think we should go.
Are you alright, Alice?
She just gets wide-eyed and looks at Hythe and goes, I think we should go.
Like, how quickly should we go?
She just kind of can't really answer.
Okay. I'm going to activate my fingernail. Contact Maurice.
Okay.
Maurice, have you found anything?
I'm so glad you asked. And there's a quiver in his voice. I don't mean to alarm you, but I think we might have stumbled upon something.
I'm going to summon him back.
And he kind of like scratches with his wing at his face.
What is happening?
There's something up there. I can't make it out. There's disturbance. He points up the hill towards where Clive is half frozen, where Alice seems to be avoiding. There's a presence.
Is it the presence we know?
Well, if the charms they have layered upon this place take the form that I expect them to, then yes.
Right.
Alice is going to take off a glove and like grasp her grandfather's pocket watch that's in her hand, that's in her pocket.
Cold metal bites into your palm. Reassurance. It's been a long time since you've had to do that.
Can I see you for a sec? I'm just gonna step aside. Here. I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I promise this will help. I'm gonna pull out my stick of lipstick. I'm gonna take my handkerchief off, kind of brush it off. I know this seems crazy, but take this, put a little bit on, and it will help you, okay?
In the back of her head, it's just like throw it at her. She just like takes it and
No, you have to put a little bit on. It doesn't have to be a lot, at least a little bit. Trust me, don't underestimate the power of being pretty, okay? It makes a huge difference.
oh, what would? Yeah. Okay. Thank. And she's gonna put some on, and then hand it back.
When she puts it on, my lipstick disappears. All right.
You see it as you paint it on, as you top half of the lip, the same section disappears on Charlotte, and again until it is completely faded.
Hey, Mr.
See? You look lovely. We're ready. You can do this.
Can I get a look at that?
What
I would like to take a look at it as well.
Nico
I
just
did
wants to
not-
like look at it and see if it's like he's seeing other like pastes and things. He just wants to look at it and smell it and see if it
What
smells
was it
anything
for?
Do
anything
you
like
want to try it
his.
too? Maybe in a little while. In a little while.
Yeah,
You can
that sounds
certainly
good.
try.
There is perhaps something we should discuss before heading into this area.
Perhaps.
I do believe there is a potential coven of witches waiting for us at the top of this hill.
Witches.
Yes.
Like real
As
ones?
in real witches. Magic. Hexes. Curses. Cauldrons. Flying broomsticks.
Like from another
You know,
world?
when you say it like this, it sounds silly, but technically, yes, you are correct in all these items.
See. Well, whatever it is, it's giving me an uneasy feeling as well.
Yes, I imagine there's going to be some amount of protection to keep us away. That is going to be largely some sort of enchantment.
Do you think they're going to be happy to see us and let us talk to them? Or is this going to be a little more dramatic than that?
Well, they do love to hear themselves speak, so, you know, it could go either way.
Quite sure they're into theatrics.
Clive, as as Pythia mentions that the enchantment would be something to keep you away, it's odd that she's able to, without your indicating so, describe the exact nature of the feeling that you just felt, unprompted, uneducated in what you had just experienced. She didn't know what you had felt, and that she was able to pick that out and know that that was the thing that one ought to expect is an unfortunate indicator that's difficult to ignore.
So this coming from Pythia, which Clive is used to her being correct, even if it's strange. Clive's not going to state it, but he's going to listen a bit. Like, protection or what have you. I don't feel like walking into a trap at this moment either, so I think it might be best we rethink our plan of approach.
Well, you don't have to walk. You could fly.
That's
In the
true.
near distance, you hear a with thunder rolling, and you see lightning strike nearby as rain begins to patter and then pour.
What? I put up my parasol.
Right.
Nico's
Nico's
coming in as
gonna
well.
go like tuck under Charlotte's parasol.
I hold it over both of us.
Right. Storm's coming. I suggest we not go trapping into the wild in the rain as well. Perhaps we should return to town.
I think we should go see what's going on.
I just wanted to prepare you for the possibilities that this is not going to be a very pleasant encounter.
Maybe we sneak up there and see if we can just at least see something. We're looking for this book, right?
We are. How far away is the top of the hill from where we are?
At the base of the hill where you're at, probably 150, 200 feet or so.
Okay.
And then past that, it's a slow rise down of the roughly the same distance until it hits water.
Okay. Well, I may be close enough now. See if maybe if the book's in there, we can come to a decision. I will go ahead and cast Locate Object
Okay. On the book?
on the book as it has been described to me.
Okay. Having received the description both from the professor and in greater detail from Clive, I would assume somewhere along the journey, you are able to conjure the image in your mind and piece together this image enough to where you know you could locate it should it be nearby. And when it hits, there's an immediate... It's like jumping into cold water. This sensation of confirmation and also this feeling that your mind has touched not an entity, but an object of power strong enough to well, let's just say you've never felt anything this powerful. And it's like jumping in the cold end of a river in the middle of winter or getting smacked in the face. It's an immediate of recognition that this thing rests distance-wise at the top of the hill, but actually a bit below it.
It's in there. It's in there. If it's as bad
do you
as
know?
I can. Magic is the easiest answer. So,
Are you?
since, if it's as dangerous as the professor says it is, and if this is a coven of witches, as we know it is, the sooner it is out of their possession would be the better option.
I do believe we will have to go towards it.
I agree.
Maybe we could, like, I don't know what a witch is like. Maybe we could dress up as cats or something.
Which is that?
Do you have a cat costume?
I don't know. People are magic. I don't know if there's something we could do.
Well, I could do something like that.
It's just, it doesn't have to be a cat. I was just thinking maybe we could be, be sneaky about it.
It would not hurt to try, I suppose.
What do real life witches look like? Should we all go looking like witches?
I feel like they would be a little wise to strangers in their midst.
Yes.
I'm quite sure they're aware of our presence already.
Then Pythia will walk towards where Clive just was. Not quite as far, but like where she saw him stop.
Okay. You approach. Are you approaching like the exact same spot or stopping a pace before?
Stopping like a pace before.
Okay. You stop a pace before. You feel there's sort of like a pressure, like you're deep underwater and there's a push on your chest the closer you get to the spot that he stopped. It's subtle, but given that you're looking for it,
yeah,
you know it's there.
I would just say I do not think we can go in and surprise them. I think they know we are here, and the sooner we get this over with, the better.
Do you think they'd be willing to let go of it for something? Like maybe we have something to trade?
Would you
they
like me to reach out and ask them?
Maybe? What was that?
Would you like me to reach out and ask them?
You can just ask them? Like right now on the spot?
I can try.
Why not?
Can I see any figures on the hill?
No, it looks bare. Looks
Wait,
like a grassy knoll.
They stole this book, and you just can't ask them if they want to trade something?
I don't know if I can ask them, actually. Let's need
Don't they like making deals? Or maybe there's some kind of arrangement we could come to?
Maybe we can kill them.
I'm So, did you just say kill them?
Okay, Pythea's going to cast Dispel Magic on this stupid force field.
There you go.
At what level?
I don't know. You're making me nervous now because I don't know the next time I'm going to sleep. Third.
Third. Okay. Go ahead and roll for me.
What am I adding? My modifier?
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't the modifier be higher if I have a stupid drum?
I believe for counterspells / dispel magic, it's just your ability modifier. Is it your spell modifier?
No.
Or spell attack?
But
I believe it's just your ability.
I do get to add my half proficiency
Oh, very nice.
because it is an ability check. Ooh, that was really good though. What is it? 17 plus 5 plus 2. 24.
The field, which is not a force field, as you know, it's something that you can pass through.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you're aware and suspecting what this is a repelling enchantment. This is something that as you approach, you find every reason to leave. There's also invisibility woven throughout, or a masking. And as you step forward, you place your hand where you know the barrier is, and you can feel it pushing against your hand, like you're pushing against this force that, as you push harder, it pushes back. You lean into it, and with a crackling of violet energy, you rent a hole, like a seam ripped in reality, but in this case, it's just a seam ripped in the ward itself. It persists on all other sides, but you've opened up a doorway. And through that doorway, you see the pale spring moon, somehow larger than life. It peers out from behind the shifting clouds as they rain down. The rain somehow heavier, more obscuring, more intense over this patch of rolling hills. The grass somehow blacker, darker. The skeleton of a house hunches on its seat at the top of the hill, daring those who see it to come a step closer. Thunder rolls a split second before the rain hits you in its full anger, over large droplets dampening your clothes and partially obscuring your sight. And you see 3 figures swaying slowly, almost in unison, looking down at you from the top of the hill. Lightning strikes, lighting up the skeleton of the house. You see holes where beams should be, rot where life should be. And you see 3 figures, and in the near distance, though they are backlit, you see a hair of gray, a hair of red, and a hair of golden blonde as they all take steps closer towards you.
Now I will speak telepathically to one of them.
Which one?
Which one's the prettiest?
The youngest.
Alice is. She's wearing lipstick.
The youngest stands out, the blonde on the far end. It seems they are arranged in age. Grandmotherly, motherly, and young in order.
Yeah, I'll reach out to her telepathically and say, Sister, I know you know that we're here for the book. Perhaps this could be discussed and handled diplomatically.
You hear a familiar voice touch your ears. Someone you haven't seen in a while, perhaps missing engagements. Maybe you hadn't been invited to, leaving you somewhat a stranger to other witches of the world. You hear the voice of Matilda Rotborn. Oh, dear Pythia, it's been so long. I'm afraid you already know the answer. What it is you seek is indeed here, and it is ours. But you're welcome to bring your friends inside, and perhaps we can get to know them. And the lightning strikes, and you can see this time, as they are now closer, you can see there's only one eye between the 6 sockets that stare at you.
Just gonna say, stop right there. It's far enough.
The redhead leans in closer, snatching the eye out of the socket of Matilda and sticks it in her own. Oh, he's cute. Oh, from across the pond, are you? I don't think we'll stop, but you're welcome to come inside. So many fun conversations to have. This is Angela Branchbite, and I know her. She is known to be a bit unpredictable.
Hey, Mr. Mons, are those witches?
I think so. It seems like it. I expected them to have pointy hats, but I guess maybe that's not the style anymore.
There are indeed no hats, just hair wet in the rain. You can see dresses a bit out of fashion, a bit well-worn, shall we say, and muddied and frayed around the hems. Not quite kept for.
Obviously, Miss Pythia? I haven't said it yet. Pythia? Pythia?
Pythia.
I
Pythia.
think she'll be mad if you say it wrong.
She will.
I think Miss Pythia might be a stronger witch because she still got her hat.
You know what? You're right.
Anyways,
And
what do
she
we...
has her talking crow. I think that means something too.
With that, Nico's gonna hide behind Charlotte.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Fucking halfway.
Yeah, I have naturally stealthy, so I mean that doesn't. You attempt to hide even when you're obscured by only a creature that is at least one size larger than you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a a
Very big
24.
bustle.
24.
Yeah.
You
Nice.
there are bustles aplenty as you pull behind and are able to shrink yourself down to a size that
It's like the Nutcracker.
is not easily seen. You find yourself pretty well hidden. You hear a voice in your ear, Pythia. Mistress, I know that, but, well, I don't know if you trust them. I wouldn't. I don't. Something's different. They're not. I don't think they're themselves, or if they are, they're changed. Clive, with your passive, you hear a off about
what?
30 feet to your right.
Clive, keeping an eye on the witches, is just going to say, Pete.
Oh, you lagged.
What'd you say?
You cut out.
So Clive's just going to keep his eyes on the witches, but just motion his hand and say, something moving to the right, 30 feet out. Keep an eye.
Alice is going to just put a hand on her axe
Inspector,
and pull it out.
do you know if that book has any unfortunate side effects?
As you say that, the oldest, Eleanor Rodilon.
Eleanor. Uh-oh. Oh, no!
The oldest of the witches, known as the daughters. These are none of them sisters. These are all daughters, like you.
Mhm.
Pythia, I'm afraid we can't let you go now. You see, there are great things afoot. Perhaps you could join us, be a part. The rest of your companions will suffer dire consequences. lightning strikes again. You see the hollows of her eyes looking in your direction, off by maybe a few degrees. She can hear you, but she can't see you.
Was that in my head?
No, this is spoken.
Oh.
Somewhat muted by the rain. Clive, you hear multiple footsteps circling.
That's bad. That's bad. That's bad. That's bad.
More movement. We're being surrounded.
Can
I'm
I
leaning over to
take
Alice.
this moment to cast Mage Armor real quick?
Why ever would you want to do that?
I don't know, just a feeling.
Angela
Alice
leans
real
in. Oh, she'll never decide. She was always a bore. Why don't we just end them now? Matilda sort of plucks the eye back and places it in her own. Yes. The handsome one's mine.
Hey, they're talking about me.
With that, you see Angela jump forward, screaming, and I need you to all roll initiative.
Yay!
First combat.
Yikes.
I hope I never change.
Oh, that is a 23.
Okay.
Ooh.
Oh
I gotta-
no.
Not one.
I got a 4.
But it's 6.
Hang
It's
on
6
to
with my
those.
not one.
Hang on to those for now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, nat 20,
Nice.
which... Oh.
Oh.
I wasted all those nat ones last session.
All right. Ba-ba-bum. We've got. All right, 20 and up.
23.
23. Inspector, 15 to 20.
Oh, hold on. 20. Nico's 20.
20, nice.
Oh, no. 25. Sorry.
Oh.
Nice.
I got a nat 20.
Very nice. Okay. 15 to 20.
Womp womp.
10 to 15.
And
10. Was that Charlotte?
yes.
Oh my.
Am I?
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. 10 to 15.
10 to 5?
Or sorry, 10 to 5, yeah.
6.
7.
Hey, you're always mad you go first as fair,
I
so
know.
like
Fair could never roll a 4 to save her life.
Oh boy.
Where's Alice going?
Alice, if you wanted to, you could roll a d4 and add it. If you want to use it now, they are limited. Choose wisely.
I'm gonna save it for
Okay.
it's in character.
Alright.
It's
Yeah,
legit.
it's appropriate for sure. Okay. With that, if you'd like to place yourselves on the map.
the map.
I totally forgot my token, so I gotta do that real quick.
Oh no!
Oh, I
Wow.
Oh, God.
I know.
I have it. So I never created it, but I have the picture and everything for it. I just need to upload it here.
For those of you creating tokens, go ahead and just slap something down so you got a place marker.
Okay.
All right, I'll use my old one.
I don't know.
What is Quentin doing here?
Yeah, get that motherfucker out of here. Damn, look at you can tell the
I'm
style
Eldritch
difference.
Blasting
Say
here,
the art
okay?
is
There's
so
no room
off.
for more Eldritch Blast.
Quentin's here.
Eldritch Blast! Pow, 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 pow.
You and everyone else in this party, bro.
I know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the Eldritch
Bring in
Blast
diversity.
parade. Listen,
Which is
there's very few
amazing.
attack cantrips so reliable, you know?
It's true.
Like, what was I gonna take? Firebolt? Gross.
All right, who's the bard?
Okay, Robbie.
I'm the bard.
She's the bard, but
No,
I'm the,
the
bard,
bard
token.
token.
Oh. I was like, I'm the bard.
Oh, that's right. He's right behind. Okay, in that case,
Right behind you, Charlotte. That's funny.
Nico, you're up.
Okay.
You're
I'll,
hidden.
I'll do my token in a minute. All right. Well, Nico only sees the 3 witches.
Do I have time to like fire off a word?
Sure, you can get a word in. I wouldn't say a spell, but if you want to say something.
No, not a word. They're pretty good against charms. That's what I will say.
There we go. I got my proper one on.
All that research I did building this character, I didn't think it was going to come in handy quite so quickly.
All right. Nico is going to he's going to like grab Charlotte's leg from like back behind her.
That is inappropriate.
And he's gonna like pull something out of his pocket and like rub another paste just on her leg.
That tears you
No, hold on.
That is inappropriate.
And he is casting haste.
What's his hand movement, bro?
Can you
It's
describe
like
what this looks
on
like?
her calf. Like he's like rubbing.
This could put
Oh,
you on a
man.
list you don't want to be on, okay?
So he opened the condom just for this moment. We
Your
made it.
last minute.
Get
I
off.
mean, your last days.
He's casting haste on Charlotte.
Okay. Haste has been cast.
TOS
Perhaps
violated.
regrettably.
I really should have shaved. I'm sorry.
God. Fun fact, you wouldn't
I
have
don't
shaved.
think that, yeah,
didn't
that wasn't a
exist
thing yet.
That's what the skirts are for.
Yeah.
All right, haste has been cast. Anything else you'd like to achieve?
Incredible.
And he's just gonna
Dare I ask?
hide.
Okay, stay hiding.
Yeah.
Since you cast the spell, go and give me another stealth check.
Okay.
Concentration? No.
That is a 26.
Okay. Yeah, you're fine. You cast haste as you do, and immediately duck back behind the skirts.
Bro, I am shockingly really badly equipped to fight these.
Same.
Bummer. Clive, you're up.
Oh, God.
Clive is going to
Bro.
pull out his pistol. Take a shot at the redhead
Go for it.
who's creeping him out.
You can see she's reaching out easily, the quickest amongst the three. To act, at least.
All right. Let's see. Oh, actually, let me, for my bonus action, I'll use insightful fighting.
Okay.
So I can use sneak attack. So that is target needs to make a deception check, and I'll make an insight check.
Okay. 15.
Okay, I got 23.
You're good. As she dashes forward, you can see there's just a bit of a lag on her right side. It seems she doesn't trust that leg quite as much. And you wait for her to land on it as you take your shot.
All right. So I take the shot, and that's not super great, but it's a 16.
16 just misses.
Oh no!
As the shot fires over the hillside, you see she ducks down underneath it as if expecting it, knowing that you would do it. It's almost like she was waiting for it. She cackles as she dashes towards you. Anything else you'd like to do?
Nope, that's it.
All right. With that, they are up. As a unit, before they take their turns, you hear Eleanor. Oh, the Kinder. They're here. And immediately you know what these are, by Thea. Witches have children. That's how more witches are made. After all, it's not something you're adopted into, it's something you are. But the union between witch and human man doesn't always work out as it should. Sometimes the children stop growing, stunted, ruined, failed witches. And as you turn around, looking, Clive, you hear a past you again, and you see pale face, swollen eyes, tear-stained cheeks of a young girl, maybe 10 years old, as multiple appear around you. One of them, right behind you, looks around.
God, Kipper!
I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw, if you please.
Can we all see them?
Or sorry, Constitution saving throw. My bad.
What? No!
Can we all see them?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I have intimidating presence,
Okay.
so they have to like wisdom save if they're within 30 feet if I see them.
Or what?
Or I don't know.
Oh,
just read
God damn it, dude. Am I ever gonna roll fucking well in combat?
Wait, can I see them?
Yeah. Oh yeah. They appear.
They're frightened until the end of their next turn.
I'm in a dress.
Oh yeah. If you're under the dress, you would still hear them though, and that's the key here.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Listen.
So Constitution saving throw. And who did not roll 20 or higher?
20 or higher.
20.
Hold on.
I did.
Uh-oh.
Hey, there it is.
I got
24. 24.
24.
19.
19. Sorry, it was Pythia, Cassie, Charlotte, and Nico.
I got a 17, but hold on, I'm still learning my things.
20.
I got a 17, but I'm gonna add my wait. I don't know
wait.
the limit.
You know, flash-
What did he say?
I haven't. 20 is the DC, so you've failed it unless you want to flash a genius. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna tell you what it does.
I'm gonna flash a genius.
Kiffer, I
Yes.
think I do save actually.
You do.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So Charlotte and Pythia, you. I rolled a 2. It's a minimum of 1. Depending on your Constitution modifier, you take a point of stress. So if your Constitution modifier is a 2 or higher, you only take 1 point.
Oh, okay.
So all my skills are -1?
I got you, Cassie. You're good.
Yeah, we have to do
all
it.
of your rolls are -1.
All rolls?
All rolls,
Oh.
except damage rolls. Damage rolls are fine. All other rolls are -1. You've taken a point of
Jesus
stress.
Christ.
Please keep track of that. Alrighty. With that, now it is the witch's turn. All right. They dash forward. Let's see what we got.
Oh, we about to get fucked up.
They glide forward, taking their time, except for the redhead who dashes right up into Clive's face. She cackling, screaming as she goes, seemingly hunkered down towards the ground. The other two, Eleanor's going to reach out towards you, Charlotte, with a hand that flashes almost like starlight, but grayed out, no life to it. Same from the blonde as she reaches out towards Cassie. We're going to go first attack on you, Charlotte. Is going to be a 24 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Silvery barbs.
It's going to be a little bit less, a 21 to hit.
Damn
Still
it.
hits.
All right, and advantage
I'm going to go ahead and give the advantage to Alice.
Okay. Alice, you have the option to roll with advantage at some point.
Okay.
That does hit. That is going to cause 19 points of psychic damage.
Oh boy.
I'm going to use my reaction to turn invisible.
Ooh.
And
You're
move
hit. You
somewhere
feel
else.
Good
you feel an
call.
intense headache, and your nose begins to bleed as you instinctively turn invisible, leaving Nico.
Surprise, mother.
Second attack on Cassie. That is going to be less. That's a 15 to hit.
I will shield that.
The
I did not
sparkling
get
light,
shield with magical secrets.
sparkling light lances out at you like a comet streaking through the night as you interpose a shield to dispel the energy. It shatters against it, and you see her cock her head. Oh, interesting. What a lovely trick. With that, that is their turn. It's now the Kinder's turn.
Oh my god, bring it so
Oh,
quickly.
Zikinda.
20, 25, 30. One is going to dash up to you,
No.
Nico. dash up to you, Cassie, and one is going to dash up behind you, Alice. And it's going to be an attack on one on Nico, then Pythia, then Alice, then Cassie. In quick succession. We've got first attack. It's going to be a 7 to hit Nico.
That does not hit.
A much better roll, a 22 to hit Pythia.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. That is 7 points of slashing damage as overgrown fingernails claw down your side as if she's trying to climb up onto your back. Just panting, panicked, seemingly not knowing what to do. Another attack on to Alice. Same roll, 22.
It hits.
The fingers score down your side, drawing blood. That is 5 points of slashing damage as you see red well up underneath her fingernails down your arm.
Marissa, you got a 4 on your initiative with advantage?
No, I had advantage.
Yes, my angel. You do have advantage.
All the time?
All the
Why?
time.
Go ahead and roll again
Because of
if you
your
want.
feature.
I'll keep it. It's
Your
cool.
subclass features.
I'll keep it.
All right.
I knew that was fucked up. I was like, why is our barbarian at the bottom of our goddamn list?
The blood wells
'Cause
up.
she
You can
doesn't
see,
know.
You see hollow eyes staring at you from this ruined child's face.
I feel
The
bad
last,
for them.
you should. It's an awful existence.
Yeah. bit.
Last one, 23 to hit. Got two 18s followed by a 19.
God.
On to Cassie.
That's actually gonna be a 2 on the dice for Divination Wizard. Baby, let's go! Importance!
You see the strike coming out, and you know where it's going to be. You play it through your mind right before it hits, and you're already somewhere else. As it swipes the air, she looks at you, looks at the missed strike, then up to you, and opens her mouth. And you can see the jaw drop unnaturally low, saliva trickling. All right, with that, we get to Charlotte's turn. Cassie, you're on deck.
Cool. So I show up. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Oh no, this is gonna be. You know what? I'm just gonna. I'm gonna take my beautiful lacy pink glove off, and I'm gonna point at the witch that's closest to me. And my hand is kind of very pale and bony and kind of white with very long, sharp fingernails. I'm gonna point Eldritch Blast.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Do I want to do? You know what? I'm gonna do all 3 of them at that one witch.
Also,
Oh my
reminder
God, I
you,
forgot we have
you
3.
are hasted.
Oh shoot, that's right. Okay. Cool. Okay, 2 of those are really good. So it's a 29, a 28, and a 17.
All hit.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Ooh.
Wait, what is this? D10! That's so exciting. I don't know how to do this. Oh my gosh.
That would be
Wait,
like
I
me
feel
playing
so
a rogue and being
unprepared,
like,
I'm
what's my
sorry.
sneak attack?
I'm just gonna do this because I am too slow. Right? No. Just do that.
Oh boy.
Okay. Is oh wow. That is 35 points of damage for all 3 of them.
Nice.
All right. What does a Eldritch Blast look like for Charlotte as it strikes?
This is weird because it doesn't look like anything of her other magic. There's no pink sparkles. It's not pretty. It's kind of like dark, sludgy green. And it smells slightly like if you leave the flowers in the vase too long and they get kind of sickly sweet. It's a little bit like that.
Oh.
As it strikes Eleanor's back, you watch as the clothes and the skin beneath it start to rot under the weight of this attack. As it climbs up her back, she twists in agony, looking over, hissing at you, hands suddenly lengthening into overlong claws. Magic not dissimilar from your own.
If I'm hasted, can I do that again?
You can get another attack. You can get a round of attacks. So you have a haste action. It can be one attack or a dash or some other action. But I do
Okay.
not believe you can get a full round of attacks again.
Should I just? I'll take the dodge action.
Okay. You ready yourself for her aggression. As she looks at you, she looks at you first, then over at Angela, the blonde. And Sister, get back to the house. You know what to do. I would say Charlotte, you would hear that, and I would say, because you're engaging with her, and I would say Clive, you would catch that with your passive.
Yeah.
All right, with that, Cassie, you're up if Charlotte's done. Pythia, you're on deck.
Where is Charlotte?
Charlotte
way up.
has teleported.
Oh.
And I'm about to do the same. I'm going to Misty Step as my bonus action.
What does Misty Step look like for Cassie?
20, 25, 30. It kind of looks like, for just like a split second, you kind of think that your mind's playing tricks on you. There's a dark void that just kind of appears that she steps into and then appears 30 feet away. But it's quick.
As you slip through the gap, in reality, you at the base of these stone steps.
Alrighty. And then I'm going to throw out an Eldritch Blast, or 3. Let's do one for each witch, because that's fun. Okay, first one on our white hair. That's gonna be an 18 to hit.
Hits.
For 7 points of damage.
You got it.
Second one on the redhead is a 24.
Hits.
For 5 points of damage. Last one on the blonde is a 19.
Hits.
For another 7 points.
Got it.
Cool. And
as you step through and immediately unleash this Eldritch Blast. What does Eldritch Blast look like for Cassie?
Kind of same vibe. While that void is kind of open, I just pull some of the dark energy out of it. It's a little bit goopy Laudna style. And just chuck it at each of these.
As you do, each hit sort of glops onto them, not unlike Apollo's own goopiness, but far less cute. As it seems to slide down their skin, it seems to pull the skin along with it, dragging red marks and sores and blood as it pools down onto the ground, sort of into the grass. If that is your turn, Pythia, you're up. Alice. Oh, sorry.
I'm actually gonna move. I forgot I could move. So 30 feet, and then I'll move back towards, if it will let me, 5, 10, 15, 20. Back towards Charlotte.
Okay, running back towards the house and up towards Charlotte. With that, Pythia, you're up. Alice on deck.
Okay, Pythia is first going to use her bonus action to hit. Which hag has taken the most damage?
The one who's
red?
the one that Charlotte has hit with.
The closest one with the silver ring?
Yes.
Pythia is going to hit them with a hex, and she's just going to like pull out one of her tarot cards and sort of like spin it in the air for a minute, and it's going to just like poof and give like a little skull shaped cloud of smoke a la Yzma's llama potion. And
the lever cronk.
And the purpley smoke is going to like flash and go up the nose of the hag.
Okay.
So that was hex. And then I'm going to apply my tales from the beyond. And Pythia is going to look at her, and she has to make a wisdom saving throw, which I know is probably very good at.
Wisdom saving throw is going to be, I don't think good enough. 14.
That does not succeed. Okay, so they're going to take psychic damage equal to 2 rolls of my bardic inspiration die, which is now a d10. And do I get to add my hex damage to this?
I'll say yeah.
Okay, d10, and then what is hex? Oh god, it's been a long time.
I think
Naeem
it's a
actually never had
6,
hex. It's a 6,
D6.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a 6.
6
Okay.
necrotic.
All right. I got a 10. Plus 4 is 22. Do you need that split into the damage types?
No.
And the target is incapacitated until the end of its next turn.
You watch as the smoke runs up. You can see something rattling around inside of her head as you are able to manipulate the smoke, the magic taking hold inside of her skull. You can see she reaches up and attempts to like hold it, pull it, something. As you can see a silent scream forming on her lips. I'll also remind, just in case you didn't get it, I don't think it would have affected either of your turns, but Charlotte and Pythia, you have a -1 to all of your rolls.
Yeah, I don't think I've rolled. It was just damage, right?
I did apply that to the.
Okay, cool.
I didn't roll any attack.
I just remembered, so I thought maybe. Cool. Anything else you'd like to do?
And yeah, I'm gonna provoke opportunity attacks. No.
Okay. Cool. With that, Alice, you're up.
Okay.
Nico on deck.
All right. After being slashed by the child baby witch thing, Alice is like looking down and she sees that she's now bleeding, and she just kind of like starts struggling. Her head gets really loud. She grabs her ears and she lets out this really ear-shattering loud scream, and then stands up very straight and stoic all of a sudden, very calm. And all of a sudden she goes, well, all right, let's have some fun.
Woo!
And I'm gonna go into a rage.
Oh.
Get it!
So I'm gonna go into a rage, and I'm going to move towards baby child, which, sorry, I need to get my, and swing at them with my great axe twice.
Go for it.
I could die. There you go. 3. That is a 28 to hit.
Damn!
Here we go.
Woo!
It's gonna be good.
Okay,
Let's go!
That was the first swing, and the second one was a 13 to hit. Might not have made it.
13 just hits.
Oh,
Whoa.
nice.
What are you
Alright.
hitting?
The little witch
Oh, the
baby
little
that
kid.
hit me. Yeah. So I'm gonna. So
Marissa was first to go for the kids.
Makes sense.
first one was 10. Second one
It
was
was
18.
children.
So 18 plus 10 is 28.
28. The first hit takes off an arm. The second takes off the head as the body
Nice.
crumples, and whatever magic has fueled what is clearly no longer a being is simply a shell. You watch as it crumples, the body crumpling down, bones cracking, flesh rending, until it's just a ball seemingly compressed under high pressure as it drops in pieces to your feet.
She just screams and goes, I hate children.
Fucking love it.
And
Alright.
that's it.
All right. In that case, Nico, you're up. Clive on deck.
All right. Is this this bottom child here close enough to me to incur a what's it called?
Opportunity attack.
Opportunity.
I would
attack?
say you're close enough to both of the ones adjacent to you.
Okay. And then Nico is going to stay put.
Okay.
And then Pythia was the one who, or Pythia attacked the gray one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and that's incapacitated, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Do I have line of sight on orange?
Yes, I would say so.
All
Can
right.
Pythia shout something?
Sure.
Try to kill one first. So that's what she's going to say. Focus on one.
All right.
And
I'll
I'm
do
going
what
to
I want.
attribute that to my family history knowledge.
Fair.
All right, then in that case, Nico's gonna try it out. He's gonna try casting Ray of Sickness on
Ooh.
the great one.
The gray one? Okay. That's a con
Nice.
save.
No, that's an attack.
Oh. Go for it.
All right. Is a 20 to hit.
20 hits. What does Ray of Sickness look like?
All right, he actually reaches into his bag, puts one of these globes in his sling, and he's like, and then just like chucks a globe, and it hits him, hits the witch.
Shatters against the witch as the liquid pours down her front.
That is. Oh man. That is 12 points of damage.
12 points. Got it.
And they have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Con save is going to be 11.
That fails. And they are now poisoned
Okay.
until the end
dope.
of my next turn.
As she is incapacitated still, you see she seems to be unable to react to this, though you can see the liquid seeping into her flesh, disappearing as it is absorbed by her form. With that,
That's a dope spell.
Clive, you're up.
Right. Clive is going to take a shot at the silver one and use insightful fighting.
You already have advantage on this because she is incapacitated.
Oh, okay. Great. Never mind. Advantage.
Do you get advantage on incapacitated? That just meant they can't take actions or reactions.
I believe you have advantage on incapacitated.
I'm not going to argue.
I'll
I
double
shouldn't have
check.
said anything. No, don't double check.
I'm
It's fine.
pretty sure.
I should not have said anything.
Mm.
Oh. Now I'm going to Google that shit. Regards.
Can't take actions or reactions. That's all it says.
It also
I
can't
will
move or speak and is unaware of its surroundings.
Yeah, I'll say you have advantage. That's fair.
Okay, cool. Then I will save that bonus action. And oh yeah. And that's a 26 to hit.
That hits.
Ugh.
Okay, pow pow. All right, so gun goes off, and that is going to be again. Those are some good ones. 18, 26, 30, 34 points of damage.
Damn! Rogue life.
4. All right. You watch as a chunk of her shoulder is blown off into the night. Drops of blood landing not quite on Charlotte, but at Charlotte's feet, carried by the wind and the rain. Again, she, seemingly unable to react, though you can see her body is broken and quite damaged at this point. Were she able to react, you imagine that scream would be quite audible.
All right. And then Clive is going to use a bonus action to do an unarmed strike on the red one.
Okay.
And that is 9 and 8 is 17.
17 just hits.
So yeah, Clive's going to do like maybe after shooting the pistol, just reach over and pistol whip.
You catch her on the side of a cheek and just leave a quick scrape and a bruise as she...
And
The boy has bite.
he's also going to use with that deal damage. Tripped up and try and knock her prone.
So what
Dexterity
save?
saving throw.
Dexterity save.
Ugh.
5.
All right,
Ooh.
yep. Knock
Ew,
prone.
that's cool.
You knock her on the cheek. She is knocked down, losing her footing on the slick grass, and lands at your feet, upside down, looking up at you, still cackling. Clearly mad, this one.
And then it's gonna make a break for it over up to here.
Okay. She and the child behind you will still get opportunity attacks. As she's still able to attack on the ground, she'll like reach out, try to grab at your ankle as you go. You see long claws reaching out towards you. That is going to be a 22 to hit.
Yep.
You take 15 points of slashing damage as she claws down your ankle, ribbons of flesh on your calf, and bits of your pants now shredded. The child behind will also get an attack of opportunity. That is going to be a 17 to hit.
Oh, she has a disadvantage on attack rolls too, though.
Oh, she does? Let me...
Yeah, being prone.
Let's see. It would be a 19 to hit then.
Oh, that's still just... It's...
Okay,
Yeah.
but the child doesn't then, in that case. Which was a 17.
Okay, yeah. Child misses.
As it screeches out behind you, you dance out of the witch's grasp and position yourself behind Eleanor, still clutching your head and blood now pouring black and viscous from the wound you've blown in her shoulder. With that, it is their turn. It's fortunate that one is actually incapacitated because of this next...
Fun fact, if you had let us take a short rest, I wouldn't have had that Tales from the Beyond ready to go.
Look at that. It's working out for you. As you run past Clive, the redhead looks back at the blonde. Oh, naughty, naughty children must sleep. And they are going to roll a collective sleep spell.
No!
So that is, I'm going to get my phone for this because it's a lot of dice to roll.
Do we have to save against that, or is it just...
It just happens.
Jesus.
It's a fun spell, guys.
But like, in what order?
Whoever has lowest hit points in the vicinity. So Nico, Pythia, and Alice, do any of you have below 92 hit points?
I have literally 92 hit points.
No. Ooh.
It would be 92 or below. Does anyone have lower than
No,
that?
you said do any of you have below 92 hit points?
Yeah, 92 is the number.
Whatever, man.
But fair.
I'm 92.
Okay, we'll play it. We'll say it was
Me
92
I
too.
got
or below.
92. No, if it
Uh,
hits, it hits.
No, does anyone have lower than that? Nico?
I do.
I do.
But am I outside the radius?
You are outside the radius. It's the
Okay.
3 down towards the bottom. Nico, how many hit points do you have?
75.
Okay, it affects
Ooh.
you, not Pythia. It affects lowest hit points first. You watch as you hear the cackling, Nico, and you just start to nod. And you're out.
Oh.
There's a slump behind you, Pythia, and you can see you've managed to shove off the spell, but you see
Oops.
Nico now in a deep, still slumber,
Aw.
as if he were quiet in a bed, except there's screaming and children around and raining
Oh,
now.
he is much cuter this way.
They're going to take their turn now.
That wasn't their turn.
No, that's something they do together. It's
Covering-
the end. The effect on Eleanor, the incapacitation, ends at the end of her turn, correct?
Yeah.
Or is it? Okay.
End of her turn.
So at the end of her turn, you see she shakes herself and like looks down at her shoulder, now ruined, and sees Clive running for her, and you can see panic in her eyes.
Real quick, too, just so before I forget, Charlotte, you do not have haste anymore.
Oh no!
As
Oh,
concentration
that's
drops.
right.
Doesn't she have to make a save to see if she lethargies out of it?
Oh, fuck.
I think it just
You might
happens.
lose your turn here. Does it just happen?
I think it just happens.
I think when
Okay.
he's done, he just
Happens.
loses a turn.
As Nico drops you, this massive wave of fatigue washes over you. You're panting, hands on knees, as you try to catch your breath, gasping.
I think I need a minute.
See, the one on the ground is going to use half her movement to stand up as she
Oh, no.
lunges for you, Pythia, Clive now
Yeah.
out of grasp.
I know.
You should have joined us, sister, not
Ugh.
traipsed around with these fools.
I
And
just met them.
she's going to take 2 Nightmare Touch attacks on you.
What does that mean?
That means the first to hit is a 24,
Yeah, that fucking hits.
and the next is 2 higher, 26.
Yeah, they both hit. Right.
From each of her hands, you could see those same bright lights forming, like bits of colorless stars. She reaches out, cups your cheek, and then grasps your head behind, sort of catching your head in a vice, and poof, unleashes both attacks. You take
It's gonna suck.
first.
It's gonna be real bad.
17 points of psychic damage from the first, and
Oh my God.
22 from the second.
Oh my god. What is that, 39?
I believe so.
Oh my
Yes.
god.
As you feel this massive headache burst inside of your head,
I gotta roll Q concentration.
you do 39, half that, so you're looking for a 19
Oh my god.
con save.
Con save. I have a lot of regrets. Nope.
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 All right. With that, the concentration on, remind me which spell?
Hex.
Hex. The hex drops as Eleanor is shaking herself awake. With that, following orders. Let's see. Tilda's going to run. 10, 15, 20, 15. And you watch her run to the house and with a crunch of wood, disappear inside.
No.
I'm going to take her off the map just because she is no longer visible. Has disappeared into the house. With that, that is her turn. It is the Kinder's turn. They are going... This one's going to shift up and around now that you're no longer a threat, Nico. It's going to be 1 attack on you, Alice, 2 on you, Pythia. The 2 on you, Pythia, with advantage. 18 to hit Pythia, the first.
Yeah, that hits.
And 23 to hit on the second.
That hits.
I will roll Alice's as well. 21 to hit, Alice.
What does intimidating presence do? How does that work?
Oh, that's right. I didn't roll it on their first turn because they had just appeared. They need
okay.
to make a save against that, correct?
Wisdom save, yeah.
Wisdom save. That would be a 11. I don't think that succeeds.
It meets it.
Just meets it? Okay, then they are able to act as they would.
Okay.
Otherwise, I believe they would no longer be able to approach you and would have disadvantage on any attacks against you.
Okay.
It's at least the second, if not the first.
Got it.
Off the top of my head. Let's see. So all 3 need to roll damage. See, that is going to be 9 points to Pythia of slashing, followed by, what is that? 6 points of slashing. And then on Alice, another 6 points of slashing.
So I have resistance to that, so it's 3.
That's halved, yes. Additionally, as they all, once again, in unison, scream at the top of their lungs, I need everybody, except for Nico, because he's asleep, and Cassie, because you're good. I need Charlotte, Pythia, and Alice, and Clive to all make Constitution saving throws.
Oh my god.
I love my constitution.
Ah,
Yeah.
20.
Oh my god, that was
27.
Natural
every
20.
time.
22.
Damn.
24.
Every
I
time
wish
I
I'd gotten
take
that on fucking Hex.
resilient, I roll like crap every time.
Every
12.
one of my saving throws has been a 20.
20 just saves.
Ugh.
What'd you get, Charlotte?
12.
I think you were the only one who failed.
Cool.
That is, I rolled a 4. What is your con?
My con modifier?
Yeah.
Or
Con
3.
modifier. 3. You take 1 point of stress.
So I'm at 2 points?
Correct.
I hate
What does that do?
Ooh.
What does that do?
Minus
The same.
2?
Yes.
Oh, my rolls. No.
As the scream hits you, there's something chilling running down your spine. You feel hope slip. Not fully out of grasp, just maybe lose a finger on the grip if this was a rope. Rope of hope. That doesn't work. With that, Charlotte, it is your turn, but you are still gasping and reeling. With that, Cassie, you're up.
Hang on. I
That's-
just need a minute. I'm just going to sit on this wall for a minute. This is very overwhelming. I'm just going to sit and get out my little compact mirror and kind of fix my hair a little bit. I need a minute.
Okay, for that mechanic
Gotta
isn't
be kidding me.
being frightened or charmed, is it?
It is not being frightened or charmed, no.
Okay. Just
You
gonna
can be
see if it-
stressed even if you're brave.
That's okay.
With that, Cassie, you're up. Pythia, you're on deck.
Alrighty. So who looks worse off right now? Eleanor or Angela?
Definitely Eleanor.
I'm going for her then. Fuck it. I'm gonna do a 4th level guiding bolt on her, please.
Nice.
Dex save?
I'm rolling to attack.
Guiding bolt, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be a 27.
Nice.
That hits.
Nice, nice,
Cool.
nice, nice.
So, God, I haven't cast this spell in so long. 1, 2, 3.
Since the mirror days.
I know.
We'll get
Plus
there.
3 extra d6s. 1, 2, 3. Ugh. Wasn't great.
Oh, I got that for free. Fuck yeah.
15 points of radiant damage on a 4th level one.
Oof.
Yeah.
How do you want
Lots
to do
of
this?
2s. Oh, okay, I'll take that. Haha. So I'm just going to turn, panicking. But I'm going to reach a hand out and shoot a it's just this bright kind of prismatic light that's really hard to focus on for too long, and it's just going to smack and it'll kind of ripple across her like electrical energy.
As it ripples, you watch as the tendrils of energy wrap around, and you can see she tries to like scratch them off, and they're non-physical. She's not able to. They just continue to constrict, and you watch as the being itself starts to crumple, as if squeezed. You watch as she opens her mouth once again in a silent scream, but looks around knowing their time is short. As it does, the form crumples to nothing, dropping the clothing into nothing on the ground. Her physical form has been defeated. You know she still exists, Pythia. Killing a witch on this plane is not an easy task, though you can destroy their body and put them away for a time.
And that was Eleanor.
That was Eleanor. Clive, you see a body now, instead of laying at your feet, disappear to nothing. Dress crumpled on the ground in front of you. Cassie, anything else you got?
No. Can I actually... I'm gonna move up closer to the door frame.
Okay.
Can I actually let Apollo loose and send him after our other witch, try to track her down?
Yes. Apollo screeches down your arm as you drop him down onto the ground as he squeezes through a broken slot in the wood and scampers over the ruins of the skeleton of this house and disappears into the interior.
Cool. All right, that's it for me.
Leaving a slime-like trail behind him. With that, Cassie, Pythia, you're up. Alice, you're on deck.
Okay. I'm once again going to cast Hex
Go for
on this little red lady as my bonus action.
The smoke up her nostrils once again. You see she reaches up towards her head as if under an intense headache.
And then I am very, very unfortunately not going to be able to use Eldritch Blast because that's a fucking ranged spell. How I know he's asleep, but like how bad does he look?
Nico?
Yeah.
I think he looks fairly healthy.
Fairly healthy. That's a boomer. Okay, then I cannot do that. He didn't have to do the saving throw for the stress thing because he was asleep,
Correct.
but that's just for the stress thing.
Correct.
Okay. All right, then I am going to... Okay. Damn it, I hate to do this. I don't want to fucking peace out and just be like, you have to take all these attacks, but I'm so low. All right, fine. Then I will do a what is that spell called? The one where you cast the magic thing. Hypnotic pattern. Pythia is going to cast hypnotic pattern, and I'm just very quickly going to say, close your eyes, Alice. And put that little I don't think I can actually get her in the 20-foot cube. Oh, can I? Yes. Okay. So I can get everybody. He's asleep. Alice has to close her eyes. The other 4 have to make wisdom saving throws.
Gotcha. Alice, are you closing your eyes?
I close my eyes, but I say, don't call me that.
Sorry.
You don't know. It's okay. You
All
might,
right.
I don't know.
Wisdom saving throw. I'm going to go clockwise, starting with the first Kinder.
Okay.
Wisdom saving throw is going to be 11. Actually, I'll do the Kinder, and then I'll finish with the Witch, just because I have the stat block up.
Yep.
5, 6, all failures.
All failures.
The Witch. 25.
Silvery barbs.
19.
Damn it. It is 19. That sucks. All right. Well, the Kinder all stare horrified as they look at a swirling vortex of screaming ghosts. And they're charmed. They're incapacitated.
Those black, bloodshot eyes just suddenly turn as if attracted by the light and just stare, jaws slack, looking up at the pattern you've drawn, with ghosts that swirl in mist, peering out of the rain, hair stuck to their faces as they cease to move.
That is my turn, and the music has stopped.
Yeah.
Oh no, music has stopped. Let's fix that.
Still going. It's just quiet, I think.
Is it?
It's back?
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Was it?
Yeah.
I think it was just
like
a
a quiet part.
Ah.
Alrighty. Music's very important. With that, Pythia, if that's your turn, Alice, you're up. Eyes closed, avoiding the pattern.
Oh, my eyes are closed. Okay.
If you don't, unless you want to look up at it.
Nah. I mean, I'm close enough. I'm going to keep them closed, and I'm just gonna like wipe my face with the blood, and it's gonna be like on the lipstick, and I messed it up and made it all gross.
Wait, did you actually do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did it.
It looks
Yeah, I
good.
did. Yeah. And then she's going to just start laughing, and she's just gonna swing her axe twice, like blindly, but relatively knowing where she's going at the child that hit her, the kid.
Okay, these
What
are
is it?
these are at disadvantage because you have your
Disadvantage.
eyes closed.
For sure.
Oh, you can go reckless.
You can go reckless if you want. Make it a straight roll.
All right, I'll go reckless. What does that mean, though?
Reckless. You get advantage on them, but all attacks until your next turn have advantage on you. It's like
That's fine.
It's like you're going nuts, but you open yourself up to attack.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna just go reckless on them instead. All right, so let me do the math. Okay, first hit is a minus 19 to hit,
Hits.
Yeah.
and then the second one I'm just gonna do right now is 29 to hit.
Also hits.
Okay, the damage on those is sorry. Actions. 11 and 8. 19 damage.
19. This time you take off a leg as the being that was perhaps once sentient drops down, looks up at you, screams in your face as you do. The axe, well, you don't see it, but you feel the axe connect regardless as it sinks down, splitting the skull in two. Once again, the body crumples and then falls to nothing.
And she's just cackling, and then yeah, I'm gonna stay put because my eyes are closed.
Okay. With that, Nico, you're just asleep, buddy.
I get your papes. Witch is back in Salem. Get your papes today.
Is it taking action to wake him up?
I believe so. I'm just looking. I can't remember if there's a save at the end. I don't believe there is.
I don't think so.
Not
Nope,
usually.
no save. You have to take damage, or the spell has to end, or someone has to take an action to wake you up.
It is an action, okay.
Clive, you're up.
Give him a good slap. All right, Clive's just gonna, as soon as his pistol's out, that one's down. He's just gonna shoot out the redhead. Pow! Oof. That's a nat one.
Ooh, there it is.
The gun.
Oh no, he's
Oh, as
Both
the
times
rain
falls down.
pours down, as it must have gotten into the black powder for when you pull the trigger, just click. And you take a quick second to clear the chamber for the next attack. Fill it with new black powder as best you can in the rain. It is quite difficult to do. Anything else you got?
He is just going to help out, run up, and make an unarmed strike against this child here.
Go for it. You have advantage.
Which child, Nico? Please.
All right, that's 26 to hit.
26. Yeah,
Damn.
that hits.
All right, and I can use
Sneak attack.
I can use sneak attack on this one, right?
Yeah, once per
All right,
turn.
cool.
Well,
Once per
that's
turn,
so
yeah.
funny. With your honor attack.
Dang, I guess I should have went for the other witch. I didn't think about that. Oh well. Oh well. We'll do it. Okay.
Well placed strike. He's your regular old Tylee.
Well, you wouldn't have gotten advantage against the other witch because she is not incapacitated.
That's true. Okay, so
Although
that's
you could have squared up against her and what's that
Five.
word called?
Where's the edge of your
Flanked.
your
25 points of damage.
It's
25 points.
I draw?
You find there are certain points on physiology that you know, stricken hard enough, can kill somebody. The form you see before you is frightening, is terrifying, is inhuman to be sure. But the physiology is close enough.
4 times
And
5.
you look for that spot in low back, right at the spine, and drive a fist into it, and you feel something pop as you twist at the final second and click it in place. Something snaps, and the body crumples before you, before being picked up almost by some unseen force and crumpling, smashing into pieces, bones snapping as it does, before dropping down before you in pieces. With that... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, that's it.
With that is the
business.
witch's turn.
Did I kill the
She-
one next to me? I'm sorry.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Yes.
Thank you. With that, the witch, closing and blinding your eyes to the hypnotic pattern, rotates around you, Pythia, slowly, taking steps. Oh, just wait. Just wait until you see what we have planned. You have no idea. The world is going to change, my sister. And it starts, she looks down at Nico, with a nightmare.
No.
And she places her hand on Nico's head, eyes matching yours the entire time.
Why don't I have any reactions?
With that, Nico, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. DC's 15.
Okay.
Man.
Hold on.
I don't have any reactions. Unbelievable.
You said DC's 15?
15.
All right. That is not good. That's a 5.
In your dreams, in a rare moment of peace, you find yourself sitting down to dinner. Your mother placing a bowl of soup before you. Nothing fancy, but it's home. And then suddenly you look up and you see a long, slender hand touching possessively on her shoulder, and the familiar face of Alex Allen leaning in towards you. She always was mine, my boy. And he snatches her back. And as he does, the floor drops out from underneath you, and as you look down, you see the face of the witch cackling as you fall ever towards it. You take...
The fuck?
This is a phone.
Bro, was that your dad?
Take
Not
51 points of psychic damage.
51.
Whoa!
51 points of psychic damage. You see Nico thrash in his sleep underneath the ministrations of this witch as she looks at you and just cackles, enjoying every moment of the pain she is inflicting upon this boy.
Is she allowed to be looking?
Is he still sleeping?
You're still asleep. You're just having a nightmare.
Wait, she was able to do all this in the. Oh, she didn't fail the thing. Yeah.
Yep.
No, I shouldn't.
Technically, yes. She's fried. Maybe.
That. You know what? She's not going to move. She's just going to sit there and laugh.
Fuck.
Give me a perception check for Apollo.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no. Paulo is going to get a 19.
19.
Nice.
Apollo has tiny feet, though he does move quickly for being his size. Doesn't see it, but he hears a...
Ugh. Okay. He's gonna keep following that goal.
All right, with that is the witch's turn. It is the kinder's turn, but the kinder is staring up. That's going to be another... Remind me what save that is at the end of its turn?
Oh, wisdom.
Wisdom. Nope.
Chat.
What did chat say?
Chat said, "Lay hands on my boy Nico one more time, and these hands are throwing."
Oh my god.
That's Chandler.
I'm sorry, it wasn't me, it was the witch. With that, Charlotte, you're up. Casting death.
Woo! Yay!
Oh.
Okay. I'm gonna run my 30 feet. I'm gonna stand up and brush myself off and make sure I look pretty. I'm gonna run my 30 feet and just peek through the door. Can I see the other witch?
Give me a perception check.
Okay. That's not great. Oh, I'm not very perceptive. I don't really pay attention to things. It's a 13.
13. You do see a small eldritch rat scurrying upon the beams in front of you, probably about right here.
Have I seen him before?
Probably not.
You see a rat with tendrils and tentacles sliming the ground behind it as it scurries along, sniffing as it goes.
Is this one of their monstrosities? I'm gonna follow it.
Begin to follow the rat deeper
guess
into
so.
this skeleton of a house.
I don't know if I want to do that. Everybody's dying outside. Ugh. There's only one. So one hag is inside and one is like terrorizing everybody. The other one's dead.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna. This is dumb. I'm gonna dash for my action and just keep going in the house. And
Okay.
follow the rat.
You dash further inside. As you do, are you passing the rat?
I guess I don't know how far in he is. If I go in further and see any sign of the witch, I'm gonna follow the witch, but I guess
Okay. Running on that 13, you dash further inside, and you can see the rat seems to be heading in a direction, though you don't see anything to indicate. You see, the floor here is covered with bits of ceiling that have fallen through, rain-soaked, half-ruined rugs and rotted away furniture. Seems some sort of green has started to grow in from the outside in what used to be either a sitting room, living room, something along those lines. As the rat scurries over your boot, there's a bit of a feeling as it reaches the far corner of the room. You can see a rug has been turned up, and there's a trapdoor that it says sitting next to and is scurrying around in circles around. That was redundant.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch you, but maybe I'll take a peek in this door.
Okay. You tug at the door. It's locked.
Ah, okay. Whatever movement I have left, I'll go back outside the house. Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
But if a witch was in there, it might be. You get the impression behind the locked door. With that, Cassie, you're up. Pythia, you're on deck.
Okay. Let's do some more Eldritch Blasts. Yeah. We'll do all 3 on this. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm starting with the witch. First one is a 23
Hits.
for 4 damage.
Okay.
Second one is also a 23
Hits.
for 5 damage.
Oh, getting up there.
Yep, last one. 17 to hit.
Hits. Just hits.
Ooh. Worse. Tag another 1 point on there.
I'll take it.
All right.
Do you not have agonizing blast?
Nope.
Olivia, your face.
She's an academic. She doesn't fight. This is all for a reason.
Extra points to each Eldritch Blast. That's a free 15. Are you
Yeah,
free?
but I can read all writing and cast mage armor whenever I want to, so.
I mean, fair trade. It's a fair trade.
It's not a fair trade.
She doesn't fight.
Well, you say that now until we need to read something we can't read.
Exactly.
Right.
Bitch.
With that,
She is a wizard. She has rituals for that.
Cassie,
I actually don't.
anything else you
Wizard,
need to
Cassie.
achieve?
Disgusting. I'm horrified.
I didn't take it as a ritual because I had it as my Eldritch Invocation.
I tried to take Agonizing Blast as my Eldritch Adept feat, but they won't give it to you unless you're actually a warlock. And I did consider taking a level 1.
Classic. That was it for the action. I don't think I have any bonuses.
Okay.
I'm gonna move. Oh my god. Gonna move a little bit closer, right? 10, 15, 20, 25 to there.
Okay. With that, Pythia, you're up. Alice on deck.
Okay. I think I may have fucked up when I was building my character because I think I only have 1 magical secret spell, which I feel like I redid this spell so many times that I don't know how I missed that. But anyway,
Let's run with what you have now, and if we need to add something later,
yeah,
go for
that's
it.
fine. I'm going to Hex is still up. I haven't been hit. Yeah.
Correct.
Great. Then fucking. Oh my god, she's still next to me. You're
Yep.
the worst, lady.
Now I step back.
You're hilarious, sir. So funny. So funny. I have a question. If I have a spell that has range, but it's not an attack, I guess I can't get disadvantage on it, right?
If it's an attack roll, it would.
If it's an attack roll.
Yep. If it's a save, then no.
All right, you know what? I guess I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers. It's ranged, but it's a saving throw, so I don't get disadvantage. I mean,
then you're good.
Okay, I don't know.
What save?
Wisdom, like every other fucking spell I goddamn cast.
23.
And I'm gonna do. Oh. Do I want to do Silvery Barbs on this? I feel like she's so good at Wisdom. Whatever, Silvery Barbs.
Okay.
I'm gonna give myself. No, I'm gonna give.
17.
Oh my god, that fucking fails! Okay. And it's a bard spell, so I get to add an extra d6 for that, for my spirit focus, and then I get to add an extra d6 for hex.
And Alice, you're coming up.
So that's 9d6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Joy. Oh, that was a fucking good roll. Well, it was really good and really bad. Okay.
Who needs fireball?
I mean, I had to waste not waste, but I had to use a 5th level to get that, and Fireball's only 3rd, so. Okay, 18, 19, 20. 31 points of damage.
As the whispers strike her ear, she still cackles and she's still laughing as she's got her hand on Nico's head, pushing him down into the dirt. But you can see her eyes start to dart around in fear as if she's hearing or seeing something approaching her.
And then I'm going to look down at Nico and I'm going to say, "There's not much I can do for you, but I am here for you." And she's going to pat him on the head, which is probably going to make like goosebumps rise on his arms and give him bardic inspiration.
Point of inspiration, Nico.
You can use it on a saving throw. It's a D10. Yeah, then I'm gonna move. No, I'm not gonna move.
Okay.
I'll stay there.
you're
So, what's his
Or
face?
should I say Mel?
No,
You're up.
yeah.
No.
How does movement work when your eyes are closed?
I would say you'd still able to move. If it was treacherous terrain, I'd probably make you roll to not like trip over something, but I would say this isn't too bad.
But I'm perceptive enough to know where I'm going.
Yeah, you can hear the stuff happening behind you.
Okay. I'm going to get in between them and the witch.
Okay.
And she's just going to be like whistling with her axe as on her way there, like fast. And then I'm going to take 2 swings at her.
Don't forget you have advantage from silvery barbs.
Yes.
I will be right back.
Although you can save that because you got advantage with Clive.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll say
So
that then.
it lasts a minute, I think.
I have advantage on my attack.
That said, you are also, I believe, still eyes closed.
Yes. So
So
does it
it'd be
cancel
straight
out?
roll.
Okay. Okay. So first one.
I would say if you want to step outside of the square,
I could do that.
pattern,
Cool.
you could open your eyes and you would have you could go reckless and have advantage.
All right. Let's do that.
Okay.
Okay. First one's going to be 28 to hit.
That hits.
Second one's going to be 28 to hit.
Very nice.
All right. The damage on those bad boys. Yeah, sorry. 19 plus 13.
19,
32.
13. How do you want to do this?
Woo! Okay, so she's just gonna like carry her axe and she's like whistling over, and then she like finally opens her eyes, and it's like a baseball swing straight on her head. Just one, and then comes back down around and comes on the top. Boom! And she's just laughing.
As you walk behind her, you see the witch's head turn to watch you and continue to turn past the point that a body should be able to, watching you as you do. Give it your best. And her head explodes in gore as your axe connects with her. You watch as the body disappears in a red mist, vanishing to nothing like her sister.
I've waited so long. She's just pumped.
With that, we are temporarily out of combat.
Okay, I will get down and poke Nico.
Child?
It is staring up, so there are no rounds to
Don't
run
touch.
here.
Yeah, don't touch her.
As long as hypnotic patterns goes, I will roll save in the background, but
Yeah, how
I'll
long
say
does
for
that
now we're out of
last?
combat. Unless you want to take care of it.
It lasts a minute.
Hello.
Oh, I was muted. Sorry. Hello, Raiders. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, welcome. Ben.
Yeah, Pythia is going to just sort of like tap at Nico and then kind of try to haul him up, but she's not very strong. Please awaken now.
It takes a bit of extra effort, like jostling somebody who's had too much to drink or is in a very deep sleep. You have to shake him, and as you do for the second time, he
Are you waking me up in the mist?
In the mist?
in the hypnotic pattern.
Oh, yeah, I'll do it and slap a hand over your eyes. Don't panic. Don't want you to get hurt, but we are going to go now.
And as he wakes up, he's going, "Mama, Mama!" And he like hugs
Oh.
Pythia, especially with his eyes covered.
Well, I didn't know you had a kid.
Clive
No,
is
but it
kind of
was
looking
speaking to
at
you.
Alice in shock.
Just kind of like awkwardly pats him and then just kind of tries to like shut him. Okay, we must go now. We have to go. Let's go.
I'm gonna throw open the door outside the house and step out very dignified. Well, I'm afraid we have two problems. Number one is the hags have some kind of pet. It looks like a rat with tentacles. It's very slimy. Problem number two is there's a trap door that seems to be locked, and I'm pretty sure that's where we need to go. Oh, is everyone all right? You look pretty rough.
I will say, Charlotte is probably the only one who's not drenched in rain underneath the parasol at this point.
We're all like covered in like hag blood and like ragged from the rain.
Charlotte is still immaculate.
Honestly, it adds to Pythia's look, really.
Uh,
Is it magically locked or is it just really hard to open?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't think to check.
But let's
Could be
go.
either one.
Alice.
Nico's gonna immediately take some of that, another canister out and start rubbing paste on his arm. Cast Cure Wounds at level 2.
Okay.
Miss Hardy, do you mind putting the axe down?
You know, you're a lot cuter in my eyes.
Oh.
She's just gonna laugh and start walking over towards the door with her axe, whistling.
Clive's going to follow apprehensively, probably about 10 feet behind her.
Okay. Clive, go and give me an insight check if you like.
Sure. That is a 19, 29, that's a 30.
Nice.
You have made a living of reading situations and reading people. And though she looks the same, and there's nothing to indicate that anything has changed other than personality, it is very clear that there's a different personality at this point in Alice's form.
Split personality disorder. Fantastic.
Her name is Mel.
Do I hear that?
I would say so.
What?
I said your personality. It's different. In combat, is it not?
Oh, what do you mean? I'm just sweet little Alice.
Yes. Sweet, harmless Alice.
I'm bored. Let's go.
Wouldn't hurt a witch.
She's not a witch.
How did anybody else fall asleep back there? What happened?
It's just one of their abilities, you know? It puts you to sleep for a little bit and maybe you had a nightmare? Or something like this?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Oh, and did the child have a nightmare while he was taking a nappy?
Yeah, you're definitely different.
Cassie, you feel... Actually, would your locate object still be up? I don't believe you're muted, by the way. I don't think you've cast anything else, have you?
I have not cast anything else concentration, and it lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Nice.
I would say you still have that link. You still have that
Okay.
awareness. You feel it shift ever so slightly.
Shit.
It has been moved, and you can tell now it is very clearly underneath the house.
Okay.
This happens as all this is, all of this that has just transpired, and you are taking in the movement, and there's another layer here. It's not just the movement. There's an interaction with it. There is engagement with this object. Something you can't typically tell from such a simple spell, but given the nature of the object itself, it seems amplified over the connection you have established with it.
Okay.
You feel a pit in your stomach form, and it deepens and solidifies into something cold and hard in your gut as you look up and you can see a pinprick of red on the moon.
Ew.
And then the red begins to spread.
Hmm.
And the light of the region shifts crimson as a blood-red moon shines down upon the scene.
Ah, cool.
Hey, Mr. Montz, I know you can change photographs and stuff. That you too?
Oh no, that wasn't me.
They have it. They're using it. We need to go now. And I'm
Is
going to
this-
rush inside.
Agreed. Pythia will just take off.
Okay, as you rush inside, we'll go ahead and take a break.
Do I have to choose now?
Choose.
No
always
pressure, no
wait till
pressure, no
next long
pressure, no
rest,
pressure,
too.
no pressure.
Can you
All
change?
right.
You can't change your magical secrets at long rest. That's only my spirit one.
No, I was saying like we can get through the next thing, and then if / when you get to long rest, you can or next break or something, then you
Okay.
can decide then if you'd like.
I'd rather do that than rushing because once I pick it, I'm stuck with it.
Cool. All right. So as you rush into the house, Charlotte leads you, and Apollo leads you, Cassie. But Charlotte leads you over towards the corner of the main room, into which it seems the final remaining witch has absconded.
See? That's
Wait.
the door, and that's the octopus rat.
Octopus rat.
You
know
can
what?
see Apollo is
Interesting.
looking up at Cassie and scampers up her skirts and onto her shoulder.
I actually think we got those in New York.
I wouldn't be surprised based on some of the stories I've heard.
Are they from Brooklyn?
Nah, that's more uptown.
Oh.
Now, this is Apollo. He was a gift of sorts, in the same way that your uncle gives you gifts.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. I think my uncle gives me nicer gifts than whoever gave you that one, I have to say.
Who is your uncle?
Anyway, I'm gonna kick it down.
He's
What?
my uncle. He's lovely.
Why don't I just go kick this down?
Oh, yes, please try.
I try to kick it down.
Okay, it's a trapdoor set in the ground, so you're like stomping down into it.
Yes.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
I guess I'll. Oh, this is an attack roll, not an ability check, right?
It's an ability check.
Oh,
20.
I'll tap her on the shoulder and give her guidance.
Okay.
Actually, I don't have to touch her.
You can just give guidance.
I can just give it 60
You-
feet.
You
I don't know
got
what's
guided.
I don't know what's come over
Got
Alice,
guided.
but if
26.
that doesn't work, let me know. I'll see what I can do.
Also, if it still fails, you can add another d4 on top of that.
28.
There we go.
Oh my god!
Mel steps forward, as she does, by the way. Charlotte, you've seen a broken mirror off to the side. Through it into the reflection, you can see a figure sitting in one of the chairs behind you. You darn tootin', my gifts are better than that. Whatever that is.
I don't know what that is. Does it have a name? It's nasty.
Dunno. Gotta run. He winks, green eyes flashing out. Mel steps up to the trapdoor, and you look at it. Solid set of planks. You raise the butt of your axe. Think better. Just take a heel straight down into it and bust a hole through it. Not enough to squirm through, as it is only the width of your leg, but a plank has been dislodged. You hear a rattling of whatever bar has been slipped and locking it underneath. And with a quick hand in, like hand through a busted door, you can undo the latch, and the door swings open, revealing a ladder down about 20 feet into a pool of water.
There you go, princess.
Thank
talking to
you,
me?
Mel.
Cool, but most effective.
Well, then after you.
All right, Mel's heading down.
Yep.
All right.
I will follow right behind.
Okay. You slide down the ladder, splash into the water, and immediately you know this isn't water. This is what you smelled.
Oh God.
Ooh.
She just
And
dips her
it's-
hand in and holds it up.
It's lukewarm.
Ew.
Lord, is that?
That's worse.
Is this all?
I'm gonna hang back with Nico for a
Not
sec before
cold
we get
yet.
down.
Strange.
Oh,
Is she down there?
Do I see anyone?
Make a perception check for me. Clive, you may as well if you're down there.
yes.
17.
17.
Perception. Also 17.
You're in a confined space. You can see along the walls are shelves lit by a very low torchlight. A couple flickering torches on either side of the room, just casting long, flickering shadows. On the shelves, you can see our forms, bodies, trails of red running from them, rivulets down into the ground. The hall continues ahead of you and behind you. Behind you hits a dead end with more shelves and more blood running down the walls from those bodies left there for such a purpose. And down the hall in front of you, the same continues, more bodies along the walls, also blood trailing down. It rounds around a corner to the left, and both of you faintly can just hear whispered words coming from around that corner.
Alright.
This way.
Mr. Monster, not saying much. We should go down there anyways.
You should, one sec. You don't look so good. I think maybe now is a good time for you to try this out. I'm gonna pass him my stick of lipstick.
Um,
To put it on.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know, Mr. Monster. I don't know if I don't know if lipstick's my thing.
But well, you don't know until you try. Have you tried it before?
Hey, that's a good point. All right. Not like I can see myself in a mirror. I'm just gonna put it
But
on.
you need a mirror. I pull out my little hand mirror. for
Oh,
it.
that's real nice. Real nice.
So
Oh yeah. Clive's
You need to
gonna
know.
remember the salve and rub it on his wound. That was a 2d8 plus
plus 5, I believe.
Plus 5.
And the lipstick fades from Alice's face.
So that's 14 points to heal.
And one more thing you gotta know before we go down there, Nico.
Nice.
If you get in a bind, if you just think about where I am, you'll show up next to me, alright? And I can do the same. So, you just keep that in mind, okay?
And that's because it is.
Right.
All right.
I meant it when I said my uncle gave me better gifts than that nasty rat thing. Alright, we better go.
Oh wait, it just goes in.
And then, Clive, just let me know whenever, because I have a ticker here. So let me know when you use it. Like,
Yeah. I used it.
okay.
As you splash down, so to speak, you find yourselves walking in the same blood-soaked, well, not it is far beyond soaked, blood-flooded sub-basement here. There's a flapping of wings as Maurice lands on your shoulder. My, that would take forever to wash out.
You still have the bird.
Of course, she still has the bird. What kind of question is that?
Just rolls her eyes.
It's lacking manners for certain. I have to have a talk with her. What are you all doing now that you are down?
All right.
Whispering
Looking
down this
totally
way.
disgusted.
Gonna go head towards the whispering slowly.
Same.
Okay, stealthily?
stealthily.
Group stealth check, if you
Oh,
please. Anyone?
Yay!
Yes.
We
You
can
are-
do it.
You are welcome to hang back if you'd like and not participate, but those advancing forward certainly must.
I am going to give myself
19.
the guidance.
It's
20. Dirt 20.
very nice.
Ooh. 28.
11.
Oof.
Also 11.
Oof.
28.
Mel?
21.
19.
Hey, that's pretty good. Overall.
You step slowly through the liquid. 1 foot after another, taking care not to disturb the surface tension, if you will. As you round the corner, you see another flickering torch, providing just enough light to see by. And down this hallway toward your left, you see an opening into a small chamber. In it, you see the final witch standing her back to you, temporarily as she walks around, very slowly, pace by pace by pace. It seems the floor there is sunken a bit further, and so the blood comes up above knee to mid-thigh. She wades through it, her focus seemingly entirely upon the black book that hangs seemingly of its own accord in the center of the room, as she hisses dark words that drape over your ears like rotten velvet. She doesn't seem to have noticed you.
I'm gonna telepathically turn to Charlotte and say, "There's no chance you are able to make someone invisible, no?
No. Wait, can I respond
No,
telepathically?
no. All right, then.
But I can do something without her knowing.
Do it.
I'm gonna use one of my warlock points, sorcery points,
Okay.
to cast suggestion on her.
Fuck yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. What's the save?
Wisdom.
Suggestion?
19.
Is wisdom?
Yeah. I'm gonna do it with no verbal, material, somatic, nothing.
20.
No!
What if
Silvery
it,
barbs!
but Kiffer, what if it was a 9 on the die?
What if?
And then it would be a, then it would be a 15.
There we go.
And that fails!
Okay.
This
what
is fun. I love this.
What is your suggestion?
Oh man, I didn't think that over
I love it.
This is like the genie wish. You gotta be real careful the
Yeah.
way you word it.
I know. I feel like she's gonna twist this like somehow. Oh, it's too much pressure. Okay. I suggest that you shut off whatever's going on and walk far away from this room, as far as you can get. And leave the book.
She freezes as the spell is cast, as the words are said. As she pauses, she glances over her shoulder. You know, it'd be a great idea. Such cheap magics could take hold on one such as me.
What?
Witches are immune to being charmed.
Damn it.
Okay.
What the hell? Look at him making us use all our goddamn abilities to get that shit off. That was some
I mean,
sneakiness.
But is that like
He's
the
good.
charmed condition or all charmed spells?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool.
With that, she places her hand on the book and whirls around, spraying red upon the wall. Hand on the book, looks towards you. Nisna.
No.
Moonlight. I need
No.
a Constitution saving throw from all of yous.
Well,
Constitution.
Man.
my god, I think I finally passed.
That's
Yay!
a 27! I'm so excited.
21.
A
Ooh.
15.
21.
Okay.
15.
Okay. Save on this is a 19.
Oh.
I'm gonna use Flash of Genius on myself,
Okay.
Yes.
making it.
How does Nico
Well, you
use
can
his
also
genius
add a
to
D4.
save on this?
If you want to use mine.
It's this one's just kind of a
Oh, hey, you also have Bardic Inspiration. That was for 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you used it yet?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's a D10. Save your flash.
Okay, then I'll do that.
Or use
Actually,
them.
I'm not gonna save my flash. I'm going to use it on Clive.
Oh,
Oh, how much is it?
that's cute.
+5 to your roll.
It's 5. Oh, a save.
How do you help Clive out in this fashion with your genius?
I want to say that it's like smelling salts, basically. Like he's
Okay.
opening it up and like tosses it to him. Just smell this.
As you do, this massive adrenaline shot hits your body as you smell. Has anyone ever smelled smelling salts?
Dude, there's a dude at LARP who uses those before he goes out to fuck all of us up.
They're
and
brutal.
it is literally terrifying.
Yeah, they're fun. I have some. If you ever guys want to smell it, I'll bring it to a dance event. It's great.
No.
And then I need to roll my d10 then. Now watch
Yep.
me fail.
Right.
Oh, I got 5.
Perfect.
Making mine 19 as well.
Okay. Did anybody fail?
I did.
Okay.
Oh, dang it, I'm sorry, I took the lipstick away!
Everyone else takes, what is that? 27 points
Oh my
of necrotic
God.
damage as horrid wilting stretches
Oh.
throughout the room. Mel, you take 54.
That's okay.
You said
You're still alive?
you said 27?
27 is halved, yes.
Oh. I feel looks.
Here's the catch. She takes it as well.
Okay. I
Alright.
feel good about that. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
She
hold
cannot
on.
get it to a point that is far enough away.
Oh, it's a range.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Wait. I think I don't take any damage from this, right? Because I've
That's
got
only
evasion.
on dexterity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Only dexterity.
Which actually is enough to kill her.
Oh.
So as the spell is
no,
cast,
that's not good.
as the spell is cast,
Wait, what?
you watch as her body begins to shrivel, even as you look down at your own skin and you can see the essence pulled from it. Mel especially, you see bits of blood seemingly pulled out of pores as your own life essence is drawn out and mixed with the rest. You see Matilda look, and you see panic hit her eyes as she looks behind her, and you can see now behind her on a shelf there's an odd object, a jar, and inside it rests something too hard to make out in this dim light at this distance. As she looks over, she reaches for it, panicking, blood splashing on the walls. No. She tries to pull for it, but the book is almost glued to her hand. Having cast this spell, it seems that she's unable to get away from its effects now. And as her body wilts and moisture and blood are drawn out of her, you expect her form to disappear like the other witches. Instead, it just continues to shrivel until the screaming stops and she lies on the
Actually killed her.
ground.
Mhm.
And it seems that there is a true corpse.
I will go towards the corpse.
Okay. Pythia, immediately recovering from the spell, perhaps moving before a full recovery, steps through the pools of blood into the room with the witch, now clutching this book, which is still floating. So she is like hanging onto the book, and just as her hand slips off of it and splashes over the front of your skirt, book still floating, suspended, open to a page. The corpse now up to its mid-torso, leaned back against the wall, looks up at you with sightless eyes. Just the one eye, actually.
Clive will run over to the book.
I'm also moving towards the book.
Okay.
I would not touch it.
Clive and Cassie head towards the book. Pythia, did you have something in mind?
Yes, I would like to cut off her head and put it in my bag.
Okay.
Of course.
Obviously,
Yeah,
why
as
would
you
do
do.
anything else?
Yes.
Wait, who failed earlier? Was that Cassie?
It's me.
It was
Alice.
Mel.
Male.
Is she still Mel?
Yes.
Well. Hey, Alice, you want you need a little pick me up?
Her name is Mel.
Oh, I must have missed that when I slept through the entire last fight.
A what?
Mel, you want you need some, fix me up. You're looking pretty gnarly with the blood flowing out of your skin. And without even asking, he's just gonna cast Cure Wounds on himself and one for her at second level, both of them.
Okay.
She sees it get better and she gets pissed.
Well, let me give you for Mel, that is that's a good roll. 25 points of healing. And for me,
Very good roll.
for me, I rolled 2 ones.
That's the life of the healer, bro. It really do be like that.
But luckily, I have a plus 10, so.
Oh, that's
12.
dope.
Well, I didn't ask for it. But thanks.
Okay. Cassie and Clive, what are you doing?
Clive, heeding Pythia's warning, doesn't touch the book, but looks at it kind of in awe of how it's just floating there like everything else that's been going on. But also curious what page it's open to.
Okay. You glance at it. What languages do you know?
Fuck yeah, dude.
I just picked Infernal because that's like I don't know what languages it feels like.
Okay.
What, French, German?
I know French.
No.
On the page, you see. It's strange. Upon first glance, it looks like looking at it upside down. You know, how, like when you look at a page and you can see the shape of the letters, but it's upside down. You can't read it, but you can like see the shape of the letters. It looks like French, handwritten French across tanned pages. But as you move around the side, the letters shift into something illegible. You see notes of infernal, a word here or there that you recognize, but the full script is not infernal. It is something that contains elements of it. You see the words rend. You see replace. You see... Actually, you know what? Give me an investigation check.
Oh yes.
Based on the few... The DC is very high on this, just because you're only picking out a few words.
Oh my, yes. Oh yeah, that's gonna be that's high. 26.
26. Okay. You see a couple words stand out. You see rend, replace, you see circle, you see what would the word for this be? Exemplar.
Exemplar.
Those would be what you pick out. Cassie, what languages do you speak?
All of them. Kiffer.
Okay.
Always.
There it is. See?
She gave up
There it
15
is.
points of damage every turn for this shit.
Real quick,
Worth
Kipper,
it.
I'm gonna interrupt you. We got a raid, so I wanted to say hi.
Oh, hello.
Hi,
88
Raid.
ADHAD Adventures. Or
It's a fun name.
88
That's cute.
Adventures. Thanks for the raid. Welcome, welcome.
Thanks for joining. Cassie, you speak all languages. You read all languages.
Mhm.
As you glance at the book, you see nothing that you would have found in the library, or at least your library. You see stitched together cover, bits of leather seemingly sewn together into a patchwork of fine tanned hues. You see a mishmash of pages. They're not uniform. They jut out at odd angles, different materials, different inks, seemingly almost Frankensteined together into this one massive volume. The size of the book is significant, maybe about the size, a little bit smaller than your torso. It's large, something you could carry underneath an arm, but would be unwieldy, perhaps. Looking at the page, you can see Clive sort of scanning. You see some sort of recognition in his eyes. As you read through the page, you see the notes of a spell, specifically the notes of a rite, a ritual. Give me an Arcana check.
Hey.
Because while you can pick out the words, there's another layer of can you understand what they are building.
That's gonna be a 22.
22.
Woo!
Nice. The words here, the language, you have the same sensation of seeing letters that look like French and then rotating around and finding that they organize into themselves into something else. You don't know what this language is, but it is made legible to you. You read similar words, long lines, an entire page, 2 pages. And without touching it, it's difficult to tell, but it might be a few pages beyond that. This is a long incantation, something that might take several minutes at least to put together, not to mention gather the components for. This is a rite along the lines of very old magic, that which witches might be known to cast, or older practitioners if you go back long enough in Earth's history. Specifically, this is a rite of unmaking. And more specifically than that, this is a rite that has the ability to take objects within a certain radius and replace them with a given example. So theoretically, if you had, let's say, a hat of a particular make, you could put a green hat into this rite, and all of the hats within a certain radius would transform to look exactly the same.
The fuck is she gonna use that for?
So of course your first thought is, okay, if this spell was about to be cast, if this was interrupted, what was she what was she trying to change? What was the exemplar?
Yeah, do I see any sort of like spell circles or any other kinds of like arcane markings in the room or anything like that?
Give me an investigation check or a perception check.
And I'll throw up a detect magic too if that changes anything.
What was
Okay.
the thing she was reaching for?
Yeah, the jar.
Yeah. Investigation is going to be a 27.
Nice.
27. Very good. You don't see any elements, so the room itself is circular. And while it's unsettling, the demands of learning can easily override certain discomforts. For as you pace around the room, any chalk line, any ink would be clearly overwritten by the blood in this room, which you immediately detect as being used as some sort of amplifier. Those corpses are not super fresh, but they are not exactly old either. They've probably been dead a day, and they are being used as some sort of amplification for this rite. The blood itself, the fresh blood itself, being used as some sort of sacrifice intended to make the magic reach further than it otherwise might. So as you pace around the room, looking for any evidence of a circle with which one might concentrate such magical power, your foot drags along the ground and you find it. A groove. A circular groove underneath the blood itself, forming the circle. For it is not chalk that is special. It's not ink that is special. It's the circle. It's the ability to focus that is special. And a physical indentation is just as good, if not better, as one inscribed upon the ground. This room is a circle.
Right.
The thing she is reaching for is within that circle. And you actually find a groove, not just a circular groove, but a linear groove that passes from the center of the circle where the book rests up towards and encompassing the shelf, the rise upon which this jar sits. You see something physical sitting within a murky liquid, half floating, half sinking.
Pythia, would you have any idea what this could be? And I'll just tap on the glass.
Do I have any idea?
It's a little difficult to see through the murky liquid. It's opaque. You can see the outer edge of something.
As I tap on it, does it seem like the glass is like dangerous?
Seems mundane as you tap on it. Just a ding, ding, ding.
Can I like pick it up and try to get like a better look at what's inside?
Yeah, you sort of turn it around. The object moves. It's not suspended. I mean, it is suspended just by the dynamics of liquid, but it's not like frozen there. You can see there's something moving around, not of its own accord, but with the movement of the jar itself. Something pinkish gray, though it's difficult to tell in the light of the room. Maybe about the size of two fists together.
Is this a brain?
Oh, I hope not. It's very...
Oh.
So based on what I could tell from the book, it's a replacement spell. Whatever she was going to focus her energy on, it would replace any similar item in the radius with her chosen item. So if this is a brain, theoretically, based on the amount of blood and the amplification, any, we'll say human, with a brain in the vicinity would have it replaced with whatever is in here.
Pythia's gonna unscrew the top of the jar. Do you want me to find out whose brain it is?
It couldn't hurt.
Taking her very long nails, she reaches in and she kind of like uses the edge of one that's really sharp to just like slice off a little chunky part of the brain. And she plops it in her mouth and she eats it.
Really?
And I cast Consumed!
Two notes.
Two
One.
notes?
Two notes.
It's not a
One.
brain?
We didn't know that was
Oh, I didn't know if it was a brain.
something
That's
random.
It's a liver, actually.
Ah, damn, okay.
Oh, it's
No.
not getting better.
It is indeed a brain.
Okay.
Nailed
However, as you reach down, there's an indentation.
Oh no.
It's supposed to be a roughly spherical on the top, obviously.
Is it an abnormal brain?
There is a
Abnormal.
divot. There's something missing.
Like a section of the brain? Or
Draw
like,
it
does
out.
it look like a?
You want to draw it out?
it.
I mean, you
I
just
just-
ate it, so
Someone else has eaten it.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Does it look like it was like
A
pulling it out?
specifically, yeah, I'll pull a brain out, Kev.
Okay.
I got the brain.
Are there any fava beans or Chianti in the room by chance?
Listen,
You see, part of the brain has
it's like
been
pate.
removed.
Foie gras.
Like dissected? Like
Make a medicine check.
Oof.
Actually, yeah, I would say make a
Oh,
medicine
I'm okay with those actually. I'm gonna give myself guidance though.
Yeah, leave
As
him
soon
alone.
as soon as Nico sees people like messing with containers and spell components, he's gonna go in and start looking around too.
Okay. Nico, are you trained in medicine by any chance?
If he makes some medicine tools.
5 is.
Clive can go ahead and make it as well.
Oh,
Make this check as well.
19.
17.
Cassie?
I'm gonna pass because I know I don't know medicine.
Okay.
I
1917.
know brains. Does that count?
You do. You
I
do.
encounter these.
I know
all.
what brains think about. I don't know brains.
No, I look at them and I hold them and I eat them.
There is a portion that has been removed. It is difficult to tell whether it was surgical or by, say, someone eating, just because it's been sitting there for a minute.
Pickled brain.
However, you are familiar enough with brain structure to know which part was removed. The frontal lobe seems to be entirely missing.
What does that do? Decision making?
Medicine check. Another one.
Okay. Guidance again.
I've cast
That was very bad.
on myself, and I'm sitting very daintily above the blood.
Okay.
Just
14.
14. Frontal lobe. It's a critical element of the human brain. It is involved with decision making.
Hey.
It is also involved with
like
shall we say
control?
gating? Yeah, gating behaviors, like an impulse control.
Well, she wanted everyone to go crazy.
And those who have had frontal lobotomies or damage to their frontal lobe tend to be impulsive, hard to reason with, occasionally violent. Occasionally
Look
very violent.
Over at Mel real quick, and then
Yeah,
I'm like,
same.
She's just like, yeah,
so perhaps it is not the brain itself, but the fact that it is only missing this part. They were trying to create very. Well, if you want, I can eat her brains, and I will find out why she has this brain.
I don't think that would be necessary.
is it a human brain?
As far as I can tell.
As far as you can tell, it is, yes. Did you still want to eat this brain? Or did you?
I don't
You're
know. I'll like
holding,
hold the
given-
little sliver in my hand and say, "Do you want me to eat this brain, or you want me to eat the brain of the hag?" So which?
You
Why
can
are
only
you
choose.
eating brains at all?
Not sure what. Why are you going to eat either of them?
who cares about the witch's brain?
Well, the witch knows why she has this brain. This brain may just be any brain, and they just took the front part out.
What happens when you eat it? What kinds of things can you do or learn? There's got to be a reason.
It will have
know
a
that
bit
I
of
would-
access and understand its memories and the things that it knew, recent events. and
I think you should
history.
pick the hag, the witch.
I agree.
All right, I will plop it back in the
I
jar.
mean, you can
screw
eat
the
that
top
one
back
too
on.
if you really want to.
I would save this one, don't worry. Put that in the bag. That will be my midnight snack. And then I will take
I don't
out
know
the
why-
hag's head.
Ugh.
Why was she reaching for it though?
Well, we are about to find out. Unfortunately, this one's still in the skull. So I'm just going to kind of...
Oh no.
Oh,
Just gonna kind
do
of
you want
like,
help with that?
I'm actually just gonna hold it like a coconut and try to like crack it on the edge.
Okay.
of the
Gross.
shell.
Give. I would say give me just a flat strength check.
No!
I can help you with that.
I will. I rolled a 16, but it's -3.
You watch as Pythia takes the skull and just. Thunk.
And I feel like my bones would just like. Mel? Ellis?
I just look at her, walk over, grab the head, put it down, and cut the top off.
Don't hurt the brain.
You do slice off a bit of the brain,
Nope.
though
Well, I'll take that part.
though the cap of the skull is now floating like a bowl in the liquid at your feet. You find a piece of shriveled flesh available to you should you wish it.
Yes.
Lydia.
I will eat this brain, and now I will cast Consume Light.
Okay. What are you searching for?
As Pycia chews on the brain, it's very dry and leathery because it is so dehydrated. I would like to know. Okay, so I can attempt to recall any important fact known to the creature, family history, recent events, building layouts, passwords, details of the death, similar information. To recall a piece of information, I must make an ability check using my spellcasting modifier. And it's an ability check, so I get to add my Jack of all trades.
Mhm.
And the DC is equal to the corpse's intelligence score.
Okay. Good to know.
I would like to know why this brain and what she was planning for it.
Okay.
The spell, the ritual.
Okay. In that case, I'll tell you the intelligence score is a 17.
Is this an ability check?
I believe so. Didn't you say it was?
Yeah, you must make an ability check. Okay, so then I am going to give myself guidance. It's not concentration, is it? No. I got to give myself all the perks. Woo! Dude, 16 plus 4 plus 2 plus my spell modifier, which is 5. 16 plus 2 plus 5.
27.
Yeah.
Okay. As you swallow
Oh, thank you.
and begin to connect with the individual to whom this mind once belonged, you're immediately hit with a litany of memories. Have you ever eaten a witch's brain before?
Ooh, have I ever eaten a witch's brain? You know, I have been running away for a long time. I think I've probably eaten one or two.
Okay. So you expect what's coming, but it hits you regardless. This litany of memories, hundreds and hundreds of years of knowledge, of conniving, of wishing, of wanting, of pursuing.
Wait, my pen died.
Put a pause in the memory.
It's buffering.
Okay.
Delving down, you find yourself in a black mire of memories. You find yourself pacing through what appears to be a cave with various pools on either side of you at various levels and scalloped recesses in the stone. And each one you look into, you find flashes. Sometimes when you look in, it's an image. Sometimes when you look in, it's a sound. Sometimes when you look in, it's really an emotion experienced by looking at each of these pools. You walk around, seemingly endless, dark landscape, illuminated only within 15 feet of you, yet it seems to go on and keep going on. Your footsteps clip, clop, clip, and echo in what appears to be, or what feels to be, a very large space, far larger than a human's mind might be, simply due to having lived multiple lifetimes. You find yourself looking for reasons, for an understanding. What is going on here? Witches can be selfish beings. Covens do tend to bring about darker magics than single individuals. That's why covens form. You can combine your power and find a greater grasp of magic than one can by oneself. But what this is new. Witches very rarely reach out in such violent manner. And as you walk past one of the pools, you hear a voice. Familiar. Heard in the corner of a room at a founding of an institute just this morning. You glance into the pool. You see a tall figure, hunched over, yellow teeth. You see That figure sitting across a table with 4 other individuals, 3 sitting close together. It could almost be one, of gray hair, blonde and red. The other individual you see is a plump, older gentleman, dressed in white.
Elias. Eliphas.
With a odd necklace, a pendant hung around his neck. A cross, though the top is a loop instead of a mere line.
Listen, you can call it an ankh, bro. I am Egyptian.
Alexander speaks first. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. What a joke.
Oh my god, hold on. Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn.
Bunch of stuffed up, half-baked conjurers playing at party tricks. Eliphas responds. Peace, my brother. The Order has served us well. You cannot fault the short-sighted for what they are. They cannot be expected to understand when even we find ourselves struggling to comprehend its vastness. You feel it. At this, the witch, whose mind you have consumed, you feel a chill, excited, anticipatory down her spine at hearing the word its. The witches respond in unison, 3 voices, 1. Are your anchors in place? Eliphas nods. Alexander, of course they are. The witches, have they been chosen well? The more that last until the solstice, the easier it shall be to enact. Gospage worries me, Mr. Allen. I've heard of a young scientist looking into things far too much for his own good. Have you taken care of that location? Alexander responds, please understand. I respect you, but it's harder to do so when you don't think me capable of accomplishing this task, of being invested in the same goal. As for the scientist, he is well occupied with the recent death of his father. That should distract him for a while. Then why were you in Boston? The witches ask. Were you not abandoning your post? He rolls his eyes. Sometimes the best defense, my dear, is a good offense. Let's just say I'm not too worried about overlong noses in Boston poking into our business anytime soon. I'll be taking care of him this evening. Eliphas responds, I trust Gospic is well under control, and please trust that my charge is as well. Not that I'd expect anyone to come hunting out this far in the desert, but even if they did, they would encounter significant resistance. I am returning there now after a brief foray into the city to inspect one of our early experiments. Truly, you should be worried about your anchor. I've heard that you've lost it, he says, looking at the witches. They shift, sort of uncomfortably. The witch whose mind you've consumed, you can feel a spike of anger. Also a spike of worry that they dampen, they don't express. It has relocated, they speak in unison, voices 3. But its locomotion is as much boon as it is bane. If we cannot find it, neither can those who might oppose us. So long as it stays hidden until the solstice, after which it will no longer matter. Eliphas smiles. Good. Good to hear. In that case, I must be going. I have several guests who must be dealt with. Good evening, ladies. He looks around. That which should not be, Alexander says. That which once was, and the witches say, shall be again. And all 5 of them at the same time. And in the coming darkness shall we rise within our fall. And the vision fades, and you hold back, and suddenly you're in the room.
Oh.
The only memory now a leathery taste upon your tongue.
That was interesting.
Yeah, what it tastes like.
What happened?
I don't know. Alexander and Alphys.
Correct.
The three witches, they were speaking to two men. One who's very ugly, sort of long and pointy and a little bit dirty.
What?
They called
Did they provide a
him.
name?
Yes, they called him Alexander.
Alexander.
He is.
Nico
um,
like
Alan.
actually like drops his bag in the blood.
Just sort of sits sinking down into the
and
red.
Picks it up.
Are you?
You said he was.
Nico?
You said he was tall and kind of dirty looking, and his name was Alexander.
Yes. Pythia will use disguise self to turn herself into the image of him.
Ooh.
You see a figure loom up,
this?
gaining another
Nico like
6
goes
inches
to like
or so.
like punch. like,
No, stop it! As she flinches, she like drops the disguise and goes back. I was just making sure.
He was at the conference asking about the professor.
that guy was at the conference.
The thing we
Yes.
went to is this.
This guy's responsible for the murder of my father.
What?
Oh.
He was at the conference
We-
asking after the professor, saying he needed to speak to him.
Oh. I'm so
Everyone-
sorry, Nico.
Everyone thinks my ma is a murderer because of this guy. She's in jail, and my father's gone, and I went to the orphanage because of this guy.
Oh.
How was he involved with you?
I never. Well, actually, Kiffer, I should ask you. Did he know Alex at all before? Alexander?
He was a figure who stopped by several times, and it was always odd, given that he seemed to have no working or familial or friendly relation with either of your parents. Just sort of stopped in, would show up and have conversations
With both
after
of
you
them?
went to bed with both of them. You never knew what those conversations were about. It was the awkward, adult friend who would occasionally stop by, but you do not know what the nature of those conversations were. They went on for maybe several months before everything transpired.
I never knew him. I went to bed and he was talking with my parents. I don't know. Like, my parents knew him. I know that my ma didn't do that.
Was there any proof that he did it and not your mom?
Kiffer's. We haven't really worked out the details.
None. What proof was able to be found was not convincing, at least not convincing to the court, despite your mother's protests, despite the fact that there were no prints or weapons that were used on the scene. She had no good alibi. And when Alexander testified against her as having spoken about potentially murdering her father, her denial of his claims met deaf ears.
So it's just like Nico's basically going on trust of his mom.
Gut feeling.
Good. Okay. There's just something wrong about him. Something he feels like these witches. Like he just feels not. I mean, no offense, Miss Crow. Just something not good about him. And my mom she wouldn't do that.
Well, perhaps this has something to do with it. He was asked by the witches if he was his anchors were in place. Anchor, like anger, like the emotion, or anchor, like a ship.
Anchor, like the ship.
His anchors were
in place. They asked both the men, and he mentioned a doctor, a scientist named Gospic.
You would have gotten the impression Gospich was a location.
Oh, a scientist in Gospic who is currently occupied with the death of his father.
Gospich?
Yeah, do we know where that is?
Give me a history check.
Bro, I'm just gonna go ahead and tap Cassie and be like, "What's up?"
That's talking about me. That's me. But I'm in New York City, not Gospich. Gospic?
You're the scientist who is mourning the death of your father?
I just told you a story about my father dying. And this
I
guy's
rolled
telling you?
18 on history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gospich, you are not familiar with. However, or like intimately, however, the name feels Prussian.
I was close.
Austrian.
Austrian.
Well, then,
Eastern
good day,
Austrian.
Somewhere in Prussia, maybe Austria, Europe, somewhere.
It's not talking about me then?
Maybe is a type. Well, then there was the other one, this little man, and again, Pythia will turn into Eliphas. She'll kind of like look down at the necklace, like, this is. He mentioned the desert, so maybe he is. Did they say his name? I know they said Alex's name.
They didn't. They did not.
They didn't say Alex's name. Okay. He was saying he was down to check on his experiment, but I do not know what the experiment was. And of course, with the topic at hand, it could be anything. It could be a person. It could be a ritual. It could be an animal. It could be a vial of, I don't know, something. But he said he was coming from the desert, and he was wearing an ankh. So I don't know. Maybe he's one of those Egyptologists.
From a desert or an ankh.
I literally look just like him right now.
Oh, yes. He was just in London.
He was just in London?
Yes.
Was this meeting in London, maybe?
At a crime scene I was investigating.
What was the crime scene?
Come to think of it, much like this. Blood everywhere.
Nice.
He was brought in as a fellow consultant as well. Went on talking some nonsense at the time about it being cult activity. Thought nothing of it at the time.
Inspector, you're telling me you came up on a scene that looked like this, and someone said it was occult activity and you did not believe them?
It's not they spoke of magic.
Maybe that was a test run. Maybe they're trying to expand this over a city, a town more.
Wait, hold on. They're talking
what
about...
happened in the room?
Appeared to be no signs of break-in or entry, just a single victim. Seemed to have inflicted grievous wounds on themselves.
Impulse control.
Perhaps, maybe they are also missing a brain. Do you have that corpse? Not on you, obviously. Unless you do.
Did not think to bring it with me, so thought it would not be connected nor relevant to any goings on here.
Yes, of course,
but it does seem to be connected now.
They also mention a hermetic order of the Golden Dawn, but did not seem to find them very impressive. Does this name mean anyone? No?
Does it mean anything to Clive?
You can make a history check if you'd like.
Is that right?
And Cassie, go ahead and make this as well, I would say.
Well, it's
Already
only
done.
an
It's a
8.
19.
Did you say 8, Clive?
Yep.
Okay. Cassie, you know.
Although,
You even get it that well?
sorry. I was just going to say, although I would recall anything that I've heard within the past month.
Ooh.
Damn.
Do you also want to know which direction north is?
Yes.
What time is
please.
it? To the minute, to the second?
Interestingly, the line that leads from the center to the jar points directly north.
This way is the
Incredible.
north. Anyone is curious.
I am not, but thank you.
I would say you would not have heard it in your circles within the last month. It is a new term to you. Cassie, however, there are a few individuals whose writing you have read who belong to this order. It is somewhat secretive, but there is a certain stamp of a rosed cross that appears by signatures of individuals who write and who communicate in this fashion. And then there are a few books that have stumbled into the Oberlin Library. It does seem to be maybe a magnet of sorts that sort of attracts the odd and the unusual in literature and in pondering and in philosophy and theology. It's one reason you stayed.
Wait, sorry, what
it
was
is
the signature? A rose and a cross?
a rosed cross, a cross that has multiple, like, think like really heavy, like Orthodox type cross where it's very embellished. And you would know that they are known for they are academics who, private generally, as a group, who study magic, who study rituals, who attempt to resurrect magics that no longer exist, often associated with the occult, which is not a perfect representation of who they really are. It's just an easy representation of who they are, because if any of your typical humans hears of people doing magic, of course it must be occult work, even though there are finer grains than just that. But Cassie, you would know that specifically they look at old and are trying to, it would be a group that are seeking to understand this magic of rites known intimately and used by witches. And they've got a couple things up their sleeves, but they are orders of magnitude less threatening than any witches are. Enough to pull off, say, parlor tricks.
Gotcha. The name, it's familiar. It's group. They study old magic, old rites, rituals, not to this degree.
They do not seem to take them very seriously, this group.
I mean, I would assume so if they're trying to replace brains and are going to these kinds of lengths to do it.
And then they asked the witches had lost it, but they did not say what it was. And all they said was it needs to stay hidden until the solstice.
You would have known they would have been referring to the anchors.
The anchors need to stay hidden until the solstice.
There were 3 anchors referred to.
Right.
One which Alex seemed to be in charge of, one which Eliphas seemed to be in charge of, and one which the witches seemed to be in charge of, but seemed to have misplaced. It seems to be moving of its own accord.
Well,
They've lost it.
if they lost the book, right? And then they lose the book, and then now they got it again.
They just said it needs to stay hidden until solstice. You would think they need the book, so they're trying to get that back. And perhaps there is Did Eliphas mention his anchor? Is this anchor the experiment? No.
Eliphas mentioned that he didn't think anyone would come out hunting for him in the desert that far.
So his anchor's in the desert. Interesting. Well, we know where at least one is, so we could start there. And then he just said the desert, but I may hazard the guess that the ankh on his necklace means he is in the Arabian desert.
When is the solstice?
Egypt, he said he was from.
Yes, that does not surprise me.
Anywhere more specific?
It's
No.
not that big of a country.
What was the name of the place we brought up earlier?
Gospich? Gospich? Gospik?
Guspich.
Gospich?
Well, I don't know. Maybe we should. We gotta take the book back to the professor, right?
Yes, perhaps we start with this.
And there's an anchor here, though. Somewhere? On its own? With legs running around?
Well, I don't know where it is.
We don't. My job,
Maybe we
however,
should
was
stay
returned to the
close and
book
look
to the
around.
professor.
Yes, we should return the book. Could I look at it perhaps on the way back in the carriage?
Well, I think that's fine as long as you're not going to turn all our brains into that sad little piece missing.
No, I have no interest in this. Imagine how dull my meals would be. She laughs at her own joke. I'm just joking. I do not eat these for sustenance. It's just a useful thing I can do.
Yeah, she does.
Just for dessert.
Mr. Mason, I just want to let you know that even though there's a lot of magic users here, we're not all this weird. We're not all. We don't eat brains, that sort of thing.
I've
Excuse
certainly-
me, Nico. I'll have you know that I have known the inspector far longer than you, and he knows exactly the kind of person I am.
Oh, I must say I'm learning a great deal more than I used to on our short trip so far.
This is
But yes,
extreme.
she does have my full confidence. Brain eating aside.
Right.
All right. I just wanted to throw out that disclosure in case anything, you know.
Yes, it's an odd gathering. But no, you're not all brain eaters, though.
I'm just gonna flick blood at Nico.
Hits you on the side of the face.
Mel, do you think we could speak with Alice very quickly?
Or no,
Perhaps just for a moment.
I am doing a good job.
Can I just
I
telepathically
did everything.
message Alice?
Is that a thing?
I don't know how this works.
What do you say?
I think we're planning on leaving soon, if you wouldn't mind coming out for a conversation. We need to talk about probably what your grandfather's been up to. Worried there's connections.
Mel, you hear these words, and it's as if you are sitting in a room, and there's a door, and behind that door you've spent quite some time. Behind that door right now is Alice. She hears those words too, and she shouts to respond to them, and you can open the door a crack if you want her to be able to reach back to those words, or you can respond.
She. Okay. All right. She'll open it a little and hear what Alice has to say, and Alice will tell her. She'll try to convince her, basically, and they'll just start arguing a little back and forth. Like, I could say it. I could tell her that. The deal was. She's just going to look at it and say, fine. And then she's going to reach in the pocket and get the watch out. She's going to toss it to Nico. Wave it in my face.
All right. You're just gonna
She's
wave
just
it.
going to watch it back and forth. And then she's just going to suddenly slowly fall asleep. And then Alice is going to come back out.
Oh, that is how it is done.
Hey, that's a nice trick. Want me to hold on to this, Alice?
I'm gonna undo my necktie
Takes a
real
second
quick.
for her to get her surroundings.
And you find yourself in nightmarish surroundings indeed.
Yeah, just wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Yeah,
She
I'm
just starts,
taking
breathing.
off my necktie, and I'm gonna take my little coffee flask and kind of spill some of that on there to get the scent in there, and I'll hand it over to her. to block out the.
Okay.
Before that arrives, you find yourself in a hot, humid environment,
Ooh.
close quarters, dark, the smell of blood all too familiar in your nose. Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw, if you will.
Oh, we should have thought of that.
Yeah.
If
That's it.
Nico sees her slipping
Natural
at all,
20.
like he's just gonna,
There we go.
he's
You
gonna
resist-
kiss.
Does that get rid of one of her stress points?
It doesn't.
Okay.
Just because you have a good moment
tried.
doesn't mean your day's stress goes away.
Spoken like someone who doesn't have anxiety.
Sorry.
Does she know any like grandfather details or anything that they are looking for?
Sorry, say that again. Any what details?
Like they're asking, like they wanted her to see if like maybe she remembers anything about the grandfather, like knowing any of these people or anything like that.
Give me a. Actually, no. We'll just say, one of those individuals looked familiar. The first one.
Oh no.
The murderer one?
Oh no.
Okay. Do I know where from?
You remember seeing your grandfather discussing something with someone while in town. Not someone who came around the house, but on an errand that you had gone on, perhaps for shopping, just basic grocery supplies. You had gone into town together, split up on your own separate business, and upon reaching the meeting place, you saw him a little bit late, discussing something with an individual behind a window. When asked about it, he said it was a research partner interested in his work, possibly interested in funding.
I recognize. What was that? The murderer's name, Alex?
Mm-hmm.
Alex. Grandfather might have done business with him at one point. And I look at Cassie because she knows grandfather, but no one else does.
I have any continuous conversation, or was it a one-time?
It was something about funding.
Hmm.
Something
Wow.
he didn't disclose.
It was several months later, by the way, that your grandfather
Got sick.
that your grandfather started working with you.
It was before some questionable beliefs, and I look at her like,
Yeah. So it's definitely tied.
but that's all I know.
Okay. Let's get you out of here.
She just looks around and she's like, oh my god.
The coffee smell is helping, but it is it is perfume on a pig. It does not block everything. It's a distraction, but it is not a replacement.
I just hang onto the watch and put it in my pocket and like kind of try to chill out because the smell is really strong. And in the back of her head, it's just like, see, you're useless.
I'm going to take her upstairs. If there's anything else that you would like to investigate, we will be waiting for you.
Who has the book?
Clive's going to take the book because that's his purpose.
Okay. You reach up for this tome floating in midair. Gently close it. As your fingers touch, you feel an electric tingle. That's odd. Paper's not conductive, nor is leather. Yet it continues to tingle like tongue on a battery, but whichever piece of skin is holding it. Just a low-grade electrical sensation, almost numb. You tuck it underneath your arm. It's large, it's bulky, but you found this once before. You've now found it again.
Pythia follows Clive out closely.
Should
Okay.
return at once.
At once? So, heading back tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. You head out into the rain, which has slowed, and it does help. Though clothes are stained. Unless you have some way to clean them.
I just top up my disguise self and make it look pristine as hell.
Okay.
I'll prestidigitate myself.
Okay. Easy enough. Charlotte was already mostly clean from her levitate, regardless. You step out into the night, and the rain does help. Mostly it helps you, Alice, just washing away the smell and replacing it with something else, giving you... Well, yeah, rain's a little uncomfortable, and it's cold, and it's wet, but it gives you something else to focus on, besides the heat and the...
Prestidigitate Alice, too.
I can't get the blood off my face. Just
Oh.
Hey, Mr. Moss, you mind get me too?
Oh, sure. Prestidigitation all around.
You get a prestidigitation. You get a prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation.
Alice just looks at Nico all like cold and like mouths that she's sorry because like she kind of knows that he wasn't treated nice.
You're back to Alice then.
Yes.
Welcome back.
She just like smiles, but then like immediately frowns because she's super sad.
You walk outside with Charlotte cleaning the blood off one step at a time. As it leaves your forms, you find yourself in the rain, clean. And while this technically wouldn't happen, I want to leave it for flavor purposes. As you walk down the hill, Pythia, what do you do as you walk down, the hypnotic pattern still holding the child in its grasp?
I will go up to her and I will take out my dagger and sort of like just kind of like comb her hair down for a second and then real quick.
It's painless, distracted as she is by the pattern. And while no longer a being, merely a shell of one, witches are who they are. And the ones who exist in adult form are the lucky ones. Perhaps this is one evil you have prevented from existing any longer. As you step back into the city proper and find quiet streets, you head your way to the stables, pick up the coaches, pick up the horses, watered in your absence, and head back to Boston. An hour later, you find yourselves... Oh, is there anything you wanted to achieve on the ride?
Yeah, I would like to have gotten in the carriage that Clive is in, and I would have liked to take a quick little peruse through that book.
Okay.
Specifically looking for anything that might help me with my goals.
Okay. Give me an investigation check, and I'll say disadvantage because you are not attuned to it.
Uh-oh.
That's bad. Okay. Oh, man, that sucks. One of them was a 19. Man. 10.
10. This is what languages do you speak?
Common, Infernal, French, and whatever my mom speaks.
Okay. Like Clive, you recognize portions of this, and you recognize them the most when you are not directly looking at the text. It does seem to shift into something more difficult to read that have elements of Infernal, but do seem, upon investigation, looking at it from angles that you can't quite read the letters do seem primarily to be native human languages.
I have a question.
Yes.
You said the carriage ride is an hour? Does the tuning take a half hour?
I would say typically like an hour, half hour or so. However, this item in particular, I'll say requires further investment.
Okay. I just thought maybe I could like attune, read it real quick, and then unattune before we hand it back.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And it's a matter of, it's difficult to read just on the ground. What was the roll again? Remind me.
10.
10. They're difficult to read as they do shift out of normal human languages. You find elements that you recognize as French, as German, as common English here and there. You find elements that look Hungarian, of Latin, of Egyptian hieroglyphics, of Cyrillic, of cuneiform, of ancient Chinese, of Sanskrit, scattered. No order, no rhyme, no reason. You see stitched. The pages themselves are stitched. They are made of different materials, and they're not, this isn't like a beautifully bound book. This is something someone has like stitched together over time. You see texts that like notations have been made in the margins, and notations over notations, and letters and places where pages are missing or torn or so completely covered with ink or scratches or dark crimson that the text itself can't even be read. It doesn't even shift when you look at it. You see places where there is no text whatsoever. There are lines and scratches and odd symbols, almost, but ordered still, almost like a language invented for the sole purpose of writing in this book. You are able, over the course of the carriage ride, you find one set of words in English that you are able to start to pick apart. And you have to like look at it from odd angles, and you have to keep taking the book and like getting different angles and looking at it before the words twist
Like
and
elbowing
shift.
Clive as it happens. We go over a bump and I'm like
And you catch one word at a time. And you see on page... it's odd looking at the book, even though you're not attuned to it, you intuitively know what page number this is. It's just looking at the page, you know it. It's not labeled. Page 766. That is not dead which can eternal lie, and with strange eons even death may die.
which is not
And you see
something died.
signed below Tituba of Salem.
Tutuba?
Tituba of Salem. It seems there are many authors. This just happened to be one, perhaps close to you, that was easier to read and decipher with whatever masks this book.
Okay.
That is what you glean. Eventually you arrive. Is there anything else anyone wanted to achieve on the carriage ride? You?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes? Oh, okay. As you arrive back, it's past midnight. The rain is still pouring here. You clop up the gates, and as the coachmen hired for the purpose stable the horses, you go up to the door of the mansion. You knock. Who's knocking on the door?
Clive will
yeah.
knock. Oh.
Okay, Charlotte and Clive both reach at the same time. And together then, you both knock on the door. You knock on the door. It opens under the force of your knock. It seemed it wasn't entirely closed.
Maybe someone left it open.
Enter.
Okay.
Unusual.
You step inside, and you see a fine vase has been tipped off of a table, which is now chipped. You see a rug has been pushed out of order. You see one painting has several bullet holes. Blood spattered against a corner of a hallway. Leading up the stairs, you see notches out of the banister. You see more blood upon the floor, upon the steps.
But this isn't good.
Clive is going to continue following the trail of
I start laughing.
stuff.
Someone put a
I don't know. Pythia will kind of try to like shield Alice a little bit. Here, if you don't want to look, don't look.
Alice, are you still with us?
Yeah. Yeah.
Clive, you head upstairs. No investigation check, as this is quite an obvious trail. You head up to the office, the temporary office, not the one that had been held as a preserved site, but the temporary one that was set up in the sitting room, which the professor had been using as his office while waiting for investigations. You go to open the door and it hits something. Push on the door and it gives, and you hear something dragging on the carpet. Looking inside, peering inside the door, you see the butler. Eviscerated. Blood down the front, staining the shirt. Sightless eyes staring up. Throat cut, stained red.
Pythia summons Maurice back.
Oh dear. And looking towards the center of the room, Clive, you see an oddly familiar, maybe not so odd, a familiar sight. Not so different from a certain crime scene recently witnessed. You see the professor. You see him clutching a letter opener in one hand, blood staining it, dull wounds carved along his own flesh. And in the other, you see a gold and silver revolver. Sorry, not a revolver, a pistol. Catches the light of the moon. In fact, it's the only spotless thing in this room. The difference between the professor, perhaps... Actually, in this case, give me an investigation check.
That is 31.
The difference between the professor and Mrs. Dawson is subtle but noticeable. Mrs. Dawson got carried away. Mrs. Dawson did quite a lot of damage to her own body before it gave out and ceased to be able to continue to perform said acts. The blood trail, the butler. The butler seemed to have been a victim of this. Someone, and looking over at the butler, you can see those wounds, dull, ragged, matching a letter opener. Judging by the marks, it seemed perhaps the professor himself. Looking at his legs, you can see initial wounds. They probably left quite a lot of the blood as he ran up the stairs. Initial injuries to the house, likely chasing said butler. Violence enacted upon nearest individual. And when that individual was taken care of, well, there was only one individual left to act upon himself. But the professor, being a savvy individual, perhaps still bearing some awareness, put a stop to it before it got quite as far as Mrs. Dawson. And you can see a single bullet wound in the base of his skull. An early mercy, self-administered. Oddly, the blood does not seem to have any blood on it. Seems there is blood on it, but seems to have trickled off, as if repellent. It rests in the moonlight, almost glowing.
Clive will examine the pistol closer.
Okay. You look down, and you see a long-stocked pistol. Flintlock design. Beautiful make. Gorgeous. Gold leafing, pale gold, almost silver, wrapping the barrel itself. Perfectly balanced, but still with a comfortable weight. You hold it up, and you see Charlotte looking at you. Charlotte, you recognize those designs. If not the make. Give me a history check, Charlotte. I'll say with advantage.
It's got a nat 20! So that's, I think, an 18.
The Fae don't make anything with black powder. It's a crass weapon. There's no grace. There's no joy in pulling a button. That's a human invention. And an ugly one at that. But this is of Sylvan make. For no human can create such a design. And as Clive picks it up, and as it catches the moonlight, and as you twist it in your hand, it extends, the gold melting and reforming into a long rifle. And then as you twist it back, back into a pistol.
Dope!
That is fascinating.
What is this?
I bet you don't know where that's from. And if you did know, I don't think you'd believe it.
I think that's as good a note as any to end tonight.
Ooh.
Good game, all.
Yeah, GG's. Hey,
Any Moulin
chat.
Rouge fans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's going so well.
Oh, well.